throwing a piece of like American cheese on a baseball face.
You guys all hear that?
Like the shock factor.
Yeah.
Okay, have you ever heard the song by the Whiskey Bards, The Deformed Farm? It's Old MacDonald and His Deformed Farm.
No.
Okay, so in that song, there's a which creature had the Tourette's? I think the rooster had Tourette's. I think it was the rooster, but it was really
a special place in hell for you.
What?
Old MacDonald's Deformed Farm.
Old MacDonald's Deformed Farm. Yeah, it's a song by the Whiskey Bards.
That doesn't make it less cringy.
Hold on. I want to try slapping Sebastian with a piece of cheese.
Clearly it worked.
The kid's like, what the hell? Oh my god. I don't think it would work on Sebastian. I'm pretty sure Sebastian would chuck it right
These
back
are
down.
babies.
I know.
Yeah.
At this
I've
point-
seen people do it on adults all the time too. They just
No, that's the shock
Yeah.
factor.
So in Old MacDonald, and Old MacDonald had a deformed farm. The creature that has Tourette's, and I cannot remember which one had Tourette's.
probably.
Have you ever
think it was
seen the
the
one
rooster.
where
That would
they,
make
they
sense.
put like a flower on
I
the
think it was
cat's
the
head, and the cat like freaks
but,
out, or like the
It has
cucumber
Tourette's,
in
so
the
it's
cat,
like singing,
the
and it's
cucumber
this
next
shit
to the
that's
cat that like
Start
pops
liquor.
out of its skin, like it's
This
like,
is
what the
this is
hell
a.
is
I'm
this?
It's a
going to
snake.
continue this, but it's a mature channel. So shit tits ass fuck, scrotum liquor, rim job, come dumpster. So yeah, so that's what this rooster starts screaming in the middle of the song. It's hilarious.
It's what song is it?
It's the Whiskey Bards. Old MacDonald had a deformed farm. I love the Whiskey Bards. They also, I think they also have a penis song.
Of course they have a
What?
penis.
They have a penis song.
Right.
That would make
Do
sense.
they do the detachable penis song?
No, it's take a look at my enormous penis.
Uh-huh.
I think I
Yeah.
I think I've heard that one before.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've been in the SCA long enough, you've kind of heard them all a little bit before.
Yeah.
Fingernail prick.
Copyright.
Come on, man.
Oh, but
We'll
it's
be back
the
in a minute,
Whiskey
guys.
Bards.
Can you bring up the lyrics?
Well, sometimes it's hard for it to have the right effect because you have like multiple lyrics going off at the same time. Like
Plus,
one
they're
verse is
drunk
this.
when they sing.
They are drunk when they sing.
So,
Oh, it's so short. Get it just right.
Yeah, it is one of the drawbacks of that particular lane.
Yeah. I did it just right. Okay. Well, it looks shorter than it
On
is.
this farm, you had a hair-lip dog with a marf here, and a marf
Marf
there,
here, marf
here, marf there, marf there, marf, marf.
it's so inappropriate.
On this farm, we had a lisping snake, E-I-E-I-O, with a hiss, hiss here, and a hiss, hiss there, here, a hiss there, a hiss everywhere, a hiss, hiss. Old MacDonald had a
You're
deformed
dating yourself
farm.
because this song happened before political correctness happened.
On this farm, he had a stuttering cow with a moo 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 here, here a moo moo, there a moo moo, everywhere a moo moo.
I remember that song now.
On this farm, he had a deformed or a dyslexic sheep, E-I-E-I-O, with an ab here and an ab there, everywhere an ab.
Well, Callista has dyslexia, so she's allowed to make fun of it.
On this farm, he had a narcoleptic pig, E-I-E-I-O, with a snort here and a snort there, here snort, there snort, everywhere. Yeah.
Get to the Tourette's.
I'm looking. Because it goes through all of them. Yeah, a Tourette's syndrome chicken. E-I-A-I-O with a buck here and a buck there, here a buck, there a buck, everywhere. Shit, tits, ass, fuck, scrotum liquor. Rim job, come dumpster. So it doesn't actually say that. It says censored, but I know what it says. Let's see. On this farm, he had a perverted frog with a rubbit here and a rubbit there, here a rubbit, there a rubbit, everywhere. Rubbit.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
And then on this farm, he had a drug dealing duck with a crack here and a crack here, crack everywhere. Crack. Yeah.
It's all coming together.
Very poorly.
Yeah, well, they when they're performing it, they give it flavor more than what's in the lyrics there. It's great. It's great.
Wow.
Yep. Because they kind of get into it with the snake, with the hiss here and a hiss there, and the perverted duck. Perverted frog with a rubbit, and a hiss and a rubbit. Yeah, it's really fun. I enjoy watching them.
So, where we last left off,
Yes.
you guys had dealt with the Aasimar and the two wyverns,
Yeah.
and then retreated back into the Underkeep Inn, and then
Speak with Dead.
and then asked a few questions of the Aasimar head. 5 questions to be more distinct. And it seemed to enjoy trying to have a conversation with Jerry, because now we finally learned that while Jerry was incarcerated and vivisected, his material was magically altered into many, many different Jerrys. These many, many different Jerrys seem to have spawned over multiple universes, and the Golden Ravens seem to be now in the process of tracking them all down and hunting them all down. But it also gave Jerry an opportunity to understand that there could be a version of Jerry in the ziggurat saucer in the middle of Rexingtrum, and therefore might be a reason to go check it out. It's also the location of a possible gateway located there as well. Although the near celestial gateway that the previous Aasimar had used was also located above the town that you guys had fled, as you'd come under suspicion and then driven from the town, causing you to take the Damselfly ship over to... Oh, no, you guys have a Wasp. I think a different group.
Wasp.
You guys take the Wasp over to the Morrow Valley, tuck it into the nearby mountains, and meet up with some dwarves that are in the business of smuggling people in and out of the Morrow Valley. Of course, the Morrow Valley is now known as the Valley of Death, as the Lich King seems to have transformed the very essence of the valley into a kind of vast undead wasteland that parses out most of the valley between where you guys currently are and where the city of Rexingtrum is, many days' journey into the valley itself. Currently, did we set in for a long rest, or are you guys currently making your way into the valley?
We already did a long rest.
Yeah, we had the rest while we
And
were
you woke up
flying,
with
right?
the intent of going down into the valley.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
There's special goggles and
yes, that's right. You guys have
don't flinch.
special goggles on, and you were specifically instructed when you see strange things to not react to them, as it could cause you a great deal of harm.
Damn it, it deleted some of my notes.
Maybe put them in a different spot.
She put them in her prison wallet. That's what she did.
Oh,
I
no.
put them in Jason's prison wallet.
I wouldn't recommend that. That bounces every time.
Oh no, it was Tuesday's campaign that we did the shopping.
Always make sure you
We
put
didn't do
saran
shopping
wrap
in
on
this
it so
one.
that
No,
it doesn't
you
come
got- no.
undone while it's
Okay.
in
You guys have-
there.
Kind of been on the run constantly ever since you fled your original verse.
It still
So.
deleted some, but it didn't delete all of it.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm number one. I've already just gave you big eyeballs.
Nothing actually.
The morning, for the first time, you guys are beginning to feel the difference between coming down of the high mountaintops and down into the beginning kind of vaporous environment of the Dead Valley. Well, the mountaintops still show signs of some life, some signs of plant growth and
Squirrels.
and although with your passive perception, like as you're walking with everyone kind of down the trail, you got the dwarfs up front, the two dwarfs leading the way down into the valley, and you guys are kind of strung out in a line. Every now and then you see small animals. You watch as a squirrel perches up on a rock near you, and its three eyes blink at you, and then it, it kind of disappears into the rocks. You watch as a two-headed bird lands on a branch, and it doesn't warble as much as it screams in terror like a human voice, and then it flies off. You're beginning to walk through trees that have been altered. They've been transformed. Like at first, as you walk through these pines, they feel rather normal. Conifers, pine, which is kind of typical. Density increases and then begins to thin out the lower you get in. And that's when the trees just take more of a gelatinous shape. The bark is more of an oozing skin than it is kind of like traditional flora and fauna. You watch as a inverted snake where its insides are out and its outsides are in kind of slithers by. And now you're beginning to see small, almost chicken-like creatures up in the brambles of the
Abysmal chicken.
Yeah, and they have no feathers. They kind of look like bald chickens, but they have scales. They have multi eyes, and
They're pointy.
yeah, they're like up in the boughs of these like very like polluted and like completely transformed trees. And it's like right out of the scene of the birds. They're just watching you guys walk through the forest. Like there's hundreds of them. They're just like watching you come down and scale into the beginning edges of the valley. At about 1,000 feet, you can see
Abyss chicken. Oh, Jesus. Abyss chickens.
Oh, I have.
Our screen's so dark.
That's because she gets a migraine as soon as the lights are turned on.
Pretty much. Abyss chickens.
Dude, those wings, they look like they're splitting themselves in half.
Abyss chickens. Can I,
Yeah,
grab
but
one?
you know, like the mouths in Blade 2, where they go like, yeah,
like
that's what these wings kind of look like.
I always
Just like
say-
their back end.
But yeah, if you hit the back button, you can see.
Okay. So, Abyss chickens.
1,000 feet up.
At about that 1,000-foot level, you're looking down into the valley. Now, the Mara Valley of your verse was a kind of very garden, flourishing kind of environment. There was Rexentrum, Trustenwald, and some other major population centers. But as you look down into the expanse of the Mara Valley, it's more of you're looking down into like a vapor cover that's like red and green. And every now and then you can see as you get deeper and deeper into the lower elevations, and you're coming out of the foothills of the mountains, it's been about half a day's travel already. Get to the very point of coming out of these crags and into the Mara Valley itself. And that's when you see like the first glimpse of some of the hordes that kind of just shamble by. Like the first one you see, it's got to be over 200-300 individuals. But there's not much left of them that's human. They're Cronenbergs for the most part. They've been altered. They've been reshaped. They've been, instead of arms, they have tentacles. Instead of a head, they have half a head with a limb kind of coming out of the other part of the head. Instead of normal bipedal legs, they have kind of like crab-like lower bodies with like weird semi-transformed, torsos with appendages sticking out of different directions. And there's a moment when the dwarves kind of stop you on the edge of the cover. And yeah, just hold on a second. This first groups that we got to get by, they're not the bad things. These are, we call them feeders. They tend to keep the people the Lich King don't want out of the valley by feeding on them, basically. So just let the horde shamble by quickly and just give it a moment. And you watch as he kind of like nods towards the other dwarf, and the other dwarf kind of sneaks off into the vapor, kind of like hides behind a mix of rotted wood of a fallen tree and like a rock. You can just see his dwarven form kind of looking up. And as he looks around, he turns to like give a thumbs up to the other dwarf. And just as he does, you watch as the upper part of his head gets lopped off. And you watch as his skull cap kind of twirls up in the air. And his dead body slumps onto the ground. And you just hear the other dwarf, "Oh, shite. I didn't think they'd be out, so... Okay, so listen. I gotta wait a moment right here. Just everyone stay under cover. Don't move. Do not move. Everyone give me stealth checks, please. By the way, I'm kind of glad I'm doing this without Carolyn being here because I feel like she'd be horrified. Although she'll be making quite a few constitution checks when she doesn't get here. Or saves.
18, because 15 plus 3.
18.
What
I
check?
feel like I wanted to
Stealth.
do the has to have trace.
You could if you want. Concentrate on that for up to an hour. This
No.
is the first part of the dangerous journey. You may have to do it a couple times.
Maybe we
10.
want to wait.
10. Jerry got
Maybe
a
we
10.
don't want to wait.
That'll be a 20 if you use it.
Okay, I'm gonna use it.
Okay, so you're concentrating on that.
Well, I got 26 plus 8 is
34.
34.
Okay.
That's mine. Do you want me to roll for?
You can roll for Carolyn. What'd you get, Mara?
I was.
Dirty 20.
Is that with the plus 10?
Oh, what's the plus 10 from?
I cast pass without a trace.
So it's 30.
Oh, so I guess I'm 30.
So then mine would be 30.
Nice.
Um,
Yours would be 28.
Dirty 20.
stealth is dex for Ivory.
Yes.
Okay.
72.
Technically pack tactics, so I'd give her
Advantage?
advantage on that. Or him. Is it her or him?
Ivory's a her.
That's right.
She got a 30 as well then.
Okay.
Carolyn, I'll roll for Carolyn. She got. No, I don't know what her bonus is. So
Oh.
I could look it up.
I was gonna look it
Oh
up.
my gosh, I need to roll for Carolyn after all.
No, I just don't. I don't know what her bonus is. Well,
Get some sugar.
When a spell says creature, does that mean demons, devils, all that stuff?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, creature means anything.
Okay.
no. Ooh, hers is
Otherwise, it'll
plus
say
6.
specifically what
So
the target
that's
is.
19 plus 10, so 29.
Okay. So as all of you kind of heeding the dwarf's words, just kind of take that moment to kind of like settle into the kind of vapor fog. And it's a strange vaporous fog. For those of normal height, it kind of clings to like your midsection to where you can't quite see the ground. It's at that point you see this strange spindly like creature come out of the vapor over by where the dwarf's body had collapsed. And as it kind of like arcs its body up and over, you can see these long 3-foot long claws kind of protruding from its arms. And it's like cautiously approaching the dead dwarf. You never really get a good visual of it as you watch it grab it. There's some violent rending sounds. There's parts of it being thrown about. And then you hear kind of clicking and grinding noises as it just like disappears from the opposite direction. You watch as another shambling horde of these Cronenbergs kind of follow the pathways of the different chunks of leftover dwarf. You could hear the like the shambling mob just kind of make those grinding and crunchy noises. They kind of clean up the edges of it. And then after a while, it gets quiet again. You just hear, every now and then you can hear the strange clucking sounds of the creatures up in the trees. That's when you kind of all look up to see hundreds of those little featherless devil chickens kind of looking down at you and just kind of peering at you with these like strange little red eyes. Dwarf kind of looks around. All right, put on your goggles. And he watches as he puts on his obsidian goggles, and then one by one you guys slip all your goggles on. You begin to watch him. It's at that point when your goggles go on, the vapor kind of goes translucent. You could see clearly through it. You could see off in the distance where the different horde groups have kind of wandered away from where they were before. And you watch as he begins to point towards like a series of ruined buildings out on the horizon. That's going to be our first stop there. Once we get there, I can get you to the Hell's Mouth. And from there, you'll have to do it on your own from there. That'll take you into the underground caves. That will take you down towards the underground riverbeds that will take you into Rexentrum. The caves I took you through to get down here was just to get us down here, of course. Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
What was what?
The thing that ate your friend.
Oh, well, you know what happens. It's dangerous out here. Normally what I'll do is I'll try to find like a finger or a foot or a toe, take him back to one of our clerics, and then they bring him back. Although this technically would be his third time, so I don't know if it's really possible, but the pay is good. Just be mindful of where you step.
Well, can I see if there's actually like a finger or something still
Give
on?
me your perception check or investigation as you
I'm
start.
looking.
Okay.
I will too. Just
I got
because
a 9.
Okay.
18 plus, you said perception, so plus 4, so 8,
22,
22.
10. So, did I give you guys a dwarf's name?
You gave us shades. You get the.
I'll make sure I'm using the right one.
No.
My notes got deleted, so
I'm assuming this is from the week that I wasn't here.
Yes.
Hold on, I'll make sure I've got the right one. That's all I'm double checking.
Grim. Grimm.
Yes, Grim.
Grim.
Okay, I'm using the right one. So as you watch Grim kind of take the lead, who's following behind Grim?
It was her first, then Willa, then I believe you, then me, Jerry, and then you were in the far back, right?
Okay.
we don't want to put him second from the back. We put him in the middle.
In the middle. Yeah.
So he's in front of me.
So as you guys string out in a single file line, you two start looking for parts of the remains of the dwarf, not really having any luck. You don't necessarily find the remains of a dwarf, but you're the first one to see the first eye. And it's about the size of a dinner plate, and it's kind of like in the ground. You watch as the eye lifts itself up out of the mud, and there's like little nerve endings underneath it, and it kind of glides away and settles back in the mud. You hear like a liquid sloshing sound as it kind of buries itself into the mud. And that's when you guys realize you're not walking in mud. It's got a distinct cold iron smell. It's about 6 inches of what looks, smells, and appears to be blood.
I take my glasses off.
You're wearing glasses. Oh.
You're all wearing
We're all
glasses.
wearing glasses.
As you take your glasses off,
Mhm.
it's you can't see more than an inch in front of your face, and it's solid like orange, red, and green vapor wrapped around you. You put them back on, and you can see again, but you're seeing like parts of the world that would easily just consume you if you didn't have these glasses on. There's just like you watch as this like 6 foot wide, many toothed mouth kind of like just comes up out of the mud, and it off in the distance, it kind of, you watch as its tail leads it up, and it just crashes into a group of those figures, those Cronenberg figures, and just like consumes like 3 or 4 of them and draws them underneath the mud, but they kind of continue to shamble away. And that's when you begin to realize that Grim, he's taking you on a path that's mostly rock, thinner, shallow portions of the blood kind of residue on the ground. Not nearly as many creatures seem to be on here. And that's when, Morrow, that's when you begin to pick up that he's taking you along an old riverbed is what he's following. So it's mostly rock, sand with kind of bloody material kind of oozing in and out, but in much more like thinner portions. But the smell is definitely getting worse, so I need everyone to make con saves, please.
Another 10. Con, so 13.
Point of exhaustion.
Oh my god.
18.
You're good.
70 plus 3, dirty 20.
You're good.
Conditions.
Especially since mine was +0.
18.
You're good.
Necessitated.
Point of exhaustion. Ivory needs to make a con save as well.
Kind of reminds me visually of almost like that scene in Evolution when they first.
All the worms on the floor.
17.
Ivory's good as well. So I want to roll for Willa. She's at disadvantage, unfortunately, on her con save.
$14.
It just misses. The DC is a 15, so she'll take a point of exhaustion as well. That's when you kind of just feel that overwhelming sense of dread, and kind of some of you feel tired, not sure why you feel tired. Others feel genuinely exhausted. Like you look over to see Jerry, and Jerry's like normal curiosity on his face is like kind of replaced with this bizarre sense of just exhaustion on his face. Like he doesn't even understand why.
Like me on a fibroid day.
Yeah. So like you guys begin to traverse this rotted riverbed, and every now and then you see a creature kind of flit away or move. You watch as this, like, it must have been some kind of fish at some point. It pulls itself out of the bloody ooze and kind of stares at you guys as you walk by. It makes this weird sound and kind of shimmies down into the blood-soaked mud and disappears into the gravel bed. It's like the natural world's being altered everywhere you look. Like the bones of the natural world are still there, but they've been reshaped. They've been manifested into something completely nightmarish for the most part.
Like the world's encased in what is it, the cubes.
I think we should stop and take a rest.
No stopping. We got to push through. Get out to those ruins before things get worse.
Worse.
Well, it's never really night or daytime down here. It's just this constant vapor when you're down here. And, well, the longer you're in it, the more potentially delusional you might become. You might begin to see things that may or may not be there. There's also, holy shit, that's quick. You watch as he kind of walks over to Jerry, and you guys notice this nodule growing on Jerry's shoulder.
Ew.
And it's got a little eye and it blinks. You watch as the dwarf reaches over to it and pops it. And you watch as he yanks out this tiny little creature with little tiny legs. And he, I don't know why they seem to like you so much, but
Check my back. Oh, I found your
My
friend's
finger.
cookie.
you guys start checking your body, and every single one of you notice at least one or two of those nodules.
Yeah, I know. Pop it.
And the dwarf's like, yeah, oh, yeah, ooh, that one's kind of big. Here, let me, and like takes the tip of his dagger, and as he throws it on the ground after squishing it, you watch as this little tiny eye and mouth kind of protrude up and like swallows it back down into the ground. There's like this burping noise, and then you see little spores kind of come off of it and into the air. Yeah, we got to keep moving. This is a lot worse than it used to be when I came
It's a
through here. I
breeding
thought,
ground.
well, I this is normally the safe path to take. But anyways, pick up the pace, and you watch as he goes to more of a kind of like a not a full sprint, but just kind of like a casual jog. You know, you can tell he's no longer caring that much about stealth. He just kind of tells you guys to like pick up the pace.
I'm gonna levitate and then move so I don't
Okay.
touch the ground
I'm gonna light a fire.
unless
No.
it doesn't work.
No.
Fire doesn't
Smack
work?
your hand. No.
Okay.
Give me a intelligence save when you go to
Oh,
levitate.
jeez.
That does not need to
Come
notice us.
Okay.
Oh, 5.
Yay.
Don't you have like multiple dice to swap out?
Yeah, I just swapped it out. Let's roll 10 again. I rolled a 6 too. Okay, yeah, so 5. What is it? Intelligence?
Intelligence save.
7.
So as
I
you
think we're gonna die. I think we turn back now because my rolls are shit.
as you begin to levitate, you become hyper aware of creatures all around you, and you watch as your obsidian goggles kind of oscillate in different directions, and you can see all these weird gelatinous malformed creatures a good 1,000 feet out kind of all become aware of you.
I go back down then.
Yeah, like as soon as you stop levitating, you watch as they kind of all turn away and start shambling in their different directions.
Use magic, they're gonna see us.
Mhm.
Okay,
Oh, you
we just
want
keep
to
going and
fire.
popping eyeball zits.
Eyeballs is.
Ew.
They're its.
Everybody give me a deck save, please.
Come on, man, we haven't even been here 5 minutes.
Can I see it?
Technically, you've
coming?
been coming out of the mountains for 4 hours, and now you're doing a 4-hour leg
Can I
trip.
see it coming or no?
Yes, you can.
Jesus. What am I doing? A deck save now? A 6.
At 20 plus 3. So 23.
So you're
I
good.
think Jerry's gonna die before he gets to 20 feet. Tell me we're going miles when this is happening.
Yeah, you're.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're in the second leg of your 4-hour journey
okay,
at this
okay.
point. Yeah,
21.
12.
12. We're close to go.
Uh,
Oh, people just get up and wander off.
should I
Roll from the curve.
one for Willow?
You roll for Willa, sure.
what would she be? Would she be deck sensitive or no?
Oh, she's sensitive to everything. Who are
Yeah.
you kidding?
She must really be liking the ground she's on right now.
No.
I suck it all up.
Take
Into
your
my
necklace
branches.
off.
She becomes this weird undead tree that has
I thought
bodies
she already
hanging
was a
off of
weird
its
undead
branches.
tree.
No, but I mean like real like undead, like a lich tree
Lich
with like
tree.
bodies hanging off of it by ropes, and then like they talk.
She has a +2 on her deck save.
Does she? So she's
Like-
a.
cut them
+2.
off, and they become like zombies and attack other
Is she
people.
proficient or no?
Nope, just says she's a +2. She's proficient in strength and con. What you get? A 2?
You all right there, buddy?
Did you roll natural 1?
No, she got well. It was 2 plus
2.
so 4.
4.
Yeah.
So as you guys begin to sprint across the expanse that the dwarf is leading you through, that's when you hear him kind of whisper loudly, be mindful of the blood geysers. And like as soon as he says it, like you hit the first one and it just slams you in the face, and you feel this thick gelatinous mud and blood just kind of like splatter onto your face. And it's more caustic than anything else as you take 8 points of acid damage. You have to take a moment to kind of like wipe it off of you. Same thing happens to you. It splatters across you
8
as,
points.
as you take 8 points of acid damage. And then same thing would happen
Oh,
to
wait a
Willa.
minute. Oh, exhaustion psychic. Okay.
So you guys are kind of sprinting, moving, fast jogging in between these like spouts and geysers of thick gelatinous blood spewing up out of the ground. Give me a deck save for you and Ivory.
I should have let you roll for Willow because no.
I got A 21.
Okay, you're good.
Ivory got 18.
Both good. So as you guys dodging these blood geysers coming out, you're now beginning to see a ruined structure off in the distance, like maybe a good mile out. And at a section of rock outcroppings that just kind of angle out of the ground with like, as soon as you guys reach it, you kind of like begin to breathe heavy, feeling the vapor, feeling the nodules begin to form on the outer skin of your body, and every now and then pinching them off and tossing them to the ground. So because you're close to the Hell's Mouth, that's what you're seeing a mile off. I need everyone to give me Constitution saves. Jeez.
Fucking 6 again. 6.
Maybe you should use D&D Beyond.
9. No, I'm gonna
Okay.
go from what I go. You know what? The funnest role playing is when I fail utterly.
When you suck at rolling.
Yeah, when I suck at rolling so bad.
What'd you get?
I've gone through 3 different
I got a
dice.
23.
Okay.
And Ivory got 16.
16 is the DC, so that'll save.
9 wasn't. Did you
Okay.
say?
14 plus 3, so 17.
17?
Yeah, 9 was totally
12.
the DC.
12?
Yeah.
So as you guys stop amongst the rocks,
I can only roll 2 rolls.
somebody roll a con save for Willa. She's got a +7.
No, I don't trust my dice.
That's a 16.
16, okay, that's a save. That's the DC. So for Morrow and Jerry, as you guys collect around the rocks, waiting for the dwarf to kind of, he begins to like, okay, now you see that structure out there? It's a good mile off. We got to get through that mire that's out there. Be mindful. Don't stop at all. Keep going, no matter what you see. Just as fast as you can run a mile, run it flat out. And you watch as the dwarf kind of stops to look at both Jerry and Morrow. Oh, shite. You
Jerry?
can see growing out of the back of Jerry's neck is a hand. And it's just, its fingers are beginning to twitch and move. And you see a tail growing out of the back of Morrow, but it's not like a normal tail. It's like it's like a 3-foot long tentacle, and then it's got a blinking eye on the end of it.
Use it as
We're,
guidance.
we're not coronavirging, but they are.
What happened?
They're failing their Constitution saves, and we're in Death Valley.
Why are we in Death Valley?
The Valley of the
I
Dead.
remember. Never mind.
Death Valley, Valley of the Dead.
So, okay, this is happening a lot faster than I expected. As soon as we can get across the threshold of the Hell's Mouth,
You're walking.
it'll be inside and out of the
Walking through
vapor,
blood goods.
and therefore
You
this.
don't like it.
Uh,
It tastes bad.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, you'll have
I
to.
picked him up and I put him on Ivory's back.
Are you sure Willa doesn't like that?
You notice Ivory like
It's-
snorts with
it's
diversion,
death.
like a
There's no-
derisive kind of
It's
like
death.
doesn't really
No,
like
it's
the smell of Jerry.
You are being
As the
sick.
hand begins, and that's when you
Yeah.
watch is
Cut
at
it
the
off.
tips of each finger,
Have eyeballs?
you can see like little eyes begin to sprout, and they're independently blinking.
Can we cut the hand off?
No, don't mess with it out here. If you do it here, and it'll keep growing into something else. Then we'll have to deal with it. So, well,
What is it with you on fire?
let's
It's a fire creature.
let's just kind of wait till we get into the Hell's Mouth, then we can figure out what to do. Now, as fast as you can run, follow me now. And you watch as he starts sprinting out into like the muddy mire in front of him. You watch as who's going after him first.
Ivory and I follow because we got to get him out. Ivory and I follow.
So you, Ivory, and
And Jerry.
Jerry begin sprinting after him.
Yep.
Okay. Who's going after them? So Scarlet, you're coming in.
Making sure he goes.
Because
So Scarlet and Morrow begin to sprint after.
I'm back.
I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Okay. Bella, Willa begin to sprint, bringing up the rear. It's a strange, like sucking sound as you're running. You can feel the kind of dense thickness of the gelatinous material kind of adhering to your boots and your feet. You're avoiding it because you're on Ivory's back, so you're not actually in physical contact
I'm not
with
wearing
it.
boots.
Well,
Your little paws.
I have
your
blood
little toe beans.
Your toe beans are getting sucked into
They're
it.
like little caramel cat claws, right? You just feel this, and it's just kind of like it's yeah. I need everyone to make strength saves except for Jerry. I just need a strength save from Ivory.
Does she get advantage?
It's a strength, not a dex base.
Okay. 8.
Okay.
Jerry's curse is
Yeah. that is kind of, the irony is not lost on me.
I touch things and they turn to shit.
Fuck, dude. No shit. I know this will be better for Jerry. I put him on Ivory's back. Like,
She just sinks in, and I'm standing up. I'm standing on the ooze as she sinks down into the ooze. Hey. If I feel her like doing that, I'll like grab onto her and start levitating a little bit to try to help her.
Okay, that'll give you advantage. That's creative. I like that.
Does it help at all?
11. No, I'm sorry, 12.
12. It's like, so what'd you get for your strength save?
15.
Okay, so I was actually supposed to. I wasn't
Yeah,
sure if I was
yeah.
rolling or anything. I rolled a 17, but I have 0 strength at the moment because it's right.
Correct. So you're 17,
27.
27. So Morrow, you notice everyone else is slowing down, with one exception. Somehow Willa is staying on the surface of the mire, kind of like keeping pace with you. But you begin to see Bella fall back, Scarlet, Ivory. What'd you get, Jade, for your strength save?
17 plus 5.
So 22.
If I caught up to Ivory and Jerry yet?
You passed them.
Oh, I can't,
They're
I can't
slow.
grab him
Well, they're
as I go
slowly
running by.
sinking into the mire. It's like chest deep for
But,
Ivory.
but I can't grab him.
You
as I go
can.
by.
Yeah, you could.
Okay, I'm gonna try and grab him as I go by.
Ivory or Jerry or both?
Just Jerry.
Yeah, you
I
pluck
don't
Jerry
think- I
off.
don't think
of,
I could
I'm
carry
working
both.
for with Ivory.
Okay,
I'm trying
so you
with
pluck
Ivory.
Jerry off of Ivory's back. You kind of throw him like, you know, you
Over
throw him
my
up.
shoulder?
You like put him up on your shoulder,
No,
like carrying like
the
a little
tail
toddler.
grabs him. No.
A malformed toddler on your shoulder.
My hand, my little second hand.
You kind of like, you look up at him. The first thing you notice is your tail coming over to look at him, and you look up at him just in time to see his new hand kind of looking down at you with each hand, like finger blinking at you. Give me a strength check or athletics as you pull at him and start sprinting across the mire again.
Peace means advantage, right?
Yes, proficient.
Okay, proficient.
P means you have to go pee.
None of this is Earth.
Natural 20. So
Not
that's,
exactly.
29.
The reason I'm asking is mold Earth.
You're technically running across liquid surface blood.
Yeah, so I can't use mold Earth to manipulate the landscape at all.
Give me a survival check as you're doing that.
29 with a natural 20.
Yeah, that's no problem for you at all.
11.
Athletics or strength check, your choice.
11.
11? Okay. You're not entirely sure. It feels like there could be ground underneath the 3 or 4 inches of blood that you're kind of
You mean
running through.
athletics or acrobatics or athletics or strength? Because
Athletic-
I'm dex and athletics is strength. I'm
Athletics
Well,
is
no,
strength.
not it is or isn't. Sometimes athletics you
I
get.
don't have any bonuses.
Okay,
for
so you can use
athletics,
either athletics or strength.
Well, they're both the same.
Okay, what'd you get?
19.
19. So you're good. And you managed to like grab onto Ivory's neck and like rip her out of the muck and back onto the surface, and she kind of begins to kind of lope alongside you. Both Bella and Scarlet are currently getting bogged down. You guys aren't jogging or sprinting. You're kind of like sloshing through. It's kind of like up to your knees and thighs.
We could grab onto each other and help each other over.
Yeah, you guys could both give me strength checks or strength saves again to see if you could give me. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Jerry,
Proficient
you
in Earth.
got a rope on you?
No.
Could I It says I have
You want to
to
throw a
see.
rope out to them and see if I
So,
can drag
would I be able
everybody
to pull
across
some of that
the
dirt up
fire?
and use it as
I don't
kind of
have
a path
the
to
rope.
move
I don't have, you see
slowly
me,
in
I have
front
like a
of?
rope.
I think
I mean, you could stop and reach into the blood and try to find the
Like
earth
I can look in your
below
backpack.
if you want to do that.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, 'cause
I
people are
have-
struggling,
I
and I
should
wanna
have,
see
we
if I
have
can help
climbing
them.
here, so.
I got 22. I'm just gonna pick her up and just.
Okay. You
I suck right
You
now. 'cause
can
I'm-
see
I have a
Morrow
level of exhaustion
and-
I have a like
and Jerry
9
further
strength.
up in front of you. You can see the dwarf even further out as he's like, you can literally see his breath puffing out. You can see Jade struggling with Ivory out of it, right? You pick Scarlet up and go, fuck this shit. You pick her up and you start sloshing a little bit faster through the blood that's kind of like oozing up into your knees. But then you watch as Willa stops and plunges her hands into the blood. You then, as you plunge your hands into the blood, I need you to make a dex save, please.
Awesome. Because it's like you can make it says you can make difficult terrain normal terrain, so that's where I'm going with this. Dex 15.
15. As you plunge your hands into the blood, you look down, you watch as like just dozens of little microscopic coin-sized eyes blink open. And then you watch as the blood leech kind of like leaps up out of the blood covering and it like wraps around your head. So as you struggle by Willa, she's got this gelatinous blood leech wrapped around her head. You are considered restrained and incapacitated, and you're slowly suffocating.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna.
What's your con bonus?
Throw you at it.
3. So
I know,
she's got 3
but-
minutes until she's unconscious.
I'm gonna shoot a firebolt at it.
Hold her up. Just shoot.
Take the shot. Roll the hit.
Just shoot.
like you're carrying a cannon.
Five.
That was 17.
Plus. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So plus that, it was also my firebolt 2d.
Does 17 hit?
Did-
You didn't ask him.
The
Yeah, you
17
have to
hit.
find out if-
What's your armor class, Willa?
My armor class is 18.
18. It misses. You watch as the bolt goes flying past Willa. It slams into the gelatinous surface. You begin to watch as dozens of these leech creatures begin to float to the surface, and they're now kind of gradually like gliding towards you.
Nope.
And Scarlet.
Magic missile.
This is not the place to have a battle.
Do I see?
I have a question. I don't know if this will affect the thing that wrapped itself around me, but I do have the poison spray as a reaction.
You
Could
know
I have
what?
done that?
I miscalculated. I forgot to add my +7 to the firebolt.
Of course you did.
Well, because she took only what was on the dice as a 17.
Doing that. Oh man, I didn't upload that. Really?
What did you
Really?
forgot to upload?
Ugh. I will. Oh no, there it is. It was in the wrong spot.
Is it your
Sorry.
bleaches? Your blood leeches? Bleaches?
All the stuff that was going to help us out. Was it the other game that we gave out all kinds of cool stuff and our armor class got raised? Yes, it was.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm the only
That's
one
what I
that
thought
was
So you're currently suffocating.
wrong.
You could try and see if anything happens.
Okay, because it has to be a dex save of 15, and it's wrapped around me, so it's not.
Well, you need to challenge it. So the only way you could affect it is with, like, if you wanted to like
Shit, right now.
use strength or athletics to kind of peel it off of your face.
Well, it's my poison spray is like a reaction now because we did that. We made my poison spray a reaction,
Okay.
so it attached to me.
So it's got to roll a 15 or higher.
Yeah.
Plastic bag boy.
That's going to be a
Because
16.
my hands can
14 plus 2.
All right. Never mind then.
Okay, so it's still wrapped around you. You like put poison spray into it, and there's like an expansion of the bubble of the blood leech, and then it just kind of pushes the poison spray like out of the area that's kind of like wrapped around your head. What are you two doing? Because you watch the firebolt miss, and now there's at least a dozen of these blood leeches now floating up and beginning to like come like gradually towards you through the muck.
Magic missile.
That's what you're doing. So you and Ivor would be about parallel to where they are. Are you doing it at the one
On her face.
on her face? Okay. What level and roll for damage? Because it automatically hits.
Here, it will. No, it's one that no, it's level 1.
What's she doing? Magic missile?
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it at higher than level 1. I don't think because of how I have it. I think I can only do it at level 1.
I'm
So
a thrower.
it's
Let me use my
I can
acrobatics.
do an Eldritch Blast.
it's 1d4.
Okay,
plus
hold
1.
on. So 1d4 plus 1?
Yeah.
So we'll roll for damage.
4.
Okay, well, it take 4 points of force damage. There's this screeching noise as the blood leech just immediately lets go
Mhm.
and falls away from Willa's like frontal face.
The frontal
Falls
face.
down into the muck.
So
And she's breathing in.
the other 2,
I don't think
because
she had
I
to
can
breathe.
do 3 flowing darts. And those go to other blood leeches.
Yeah, if you want. You watch as Jade sends them to other ones that are floating in the muck, and they screech and kind of bury themselves back into the blood muck. You're throwing her?
I'm a thrower. Just whoop, just see if I can throw her next to what was his name again?
Grim.
Grim.
Grimm's pretty far out ahead.
I know.
He's about 90 feet in front. The closest is Maro
Wow.
at this point.
Catch.
And Maro's
Ooh,
currently
he's got
carrying-
Jerry.
carrying like, vestigial Jerry on his shoulder. Like, and it's weird because like Maro's running a little bit faster than normal. It's almost like he's balancing himself with his tail. So it's like he's able to kind of like, step into the muck in a way that's like keeping him from sinking down. And that's where you could see that the ruins are getting closer. You guys are about halfway to where the ruins are. You can just hear the dwarf bellow out, "Don't stop! Keep running! Keep running!" And
let's go.
so everyone give me a fresh round except for Jerry because you're on Morrow.
Dex?
I'll use my
Strength.
Eldritch Blast
Strength
to
save.
hit anything that comes after
Yep, still
us.
strength save.
Oh,
Natural 20.
Okay.
11.
Okay. You are cursed! You go on Morrow's shoulder. Holy shit, he really is cursed. Oh my
What have you
god.
done to me?
17 and a 16.
I have a Will Wheaton at my table.
Is
Yeah.
it a DC 16?
What'd you get?
I got a 17 and a 16.
DC 17
man.
now.
DC
Cursed
17. Okay, well then Ivory didn't make it.
Okay, so Ivory didn't make
I
it.
was rolling
Just
really
leave
good
me.
to snatch you up.
You're
Just
on his
leave me.
shoulders. You bog down in the mire. Willa's managing to pick up her pace. She just wants to get out of this like very unnatural environment. So she's now sprinting forwards. So you're good.
19.
19. So all of you are pretty good. You're all beginning to catch up to where you can see Maro's now getting like pulled under into the mire. Like the blood is kind of curling up onto his legs and up into his waist. You can see these gelatinous like tentacles beginning to spring out and like form around like one of his forearms. He's trying to like break it. And then
Yeah.
you notice that Ivory's like the same thing's happening to her.
Pulling her out again.
Give me strength.
I need a young priest and an old
I
priest.
think I
Can exercise my dice. Fuck.
Yeah.
uh,
I rolled with somebody else's, but I'd curse their dice.
It's not a saving throw, right?
It's a strength check.
Here's my extra dice.
No, that's
I
right.
don't use it.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm just
Okay.
gonna keep going.
You're
myself
currently
out of it.
stuck trying to pull Ivory out. Now I need you to make another strength save.
I'm going to cast reduce on her and then pull her out and pick her
Okay, first you need a strength save
up for my feet.
because you stopped to help her out. So now you're at risk.
17.
17, that's the DC. So it went slightly up. You guys are now all caught up to Morrow, who's slowly being pulled in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the three of you could collectively try to pull Morrow out,
Yeah.
But stopping and helping him means you're 3 of you will have to make fresh strength saves.
Just
So
keep going.
either you could send the 2 of you to keep going and then have Willa pull him out,
Just
or
keep going. Just keep going.
Shoot while we're running. Shoot while you're running.
I'm gonna shoot fire bolts away to distract the creatures.
well, there's no creatures now. You
He's
guys
just
have gotten
sinking
out of that
into
area.
Okay.
Now he's just slowly being consumed by the blood mire itself. Like it's just pulling him down
Right.
into the thicket
Layer effect.
portion of it.
The layer effect.
Am I getting frustrated?
Yeah, I would say you
Can
feel
I-
like
can
you
I,
you can
enter
rage.
into a rage?
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and
When you rage,
Can I
Okay.
punch him just right, like punch him in the back, like cool, and then just keep walking back?
so give me another con save as you rage.
strength or con.
Con. Give me a con save for starters.
That's the only good thing. It was like smack him while we're running.
12.
12. So as you watch
I rolled a 2, a 3,
Morrow
a 3.
go into a rage, you watch as this second appendage starts growing out of his shoulder, and you watch as a foot. You can see toes curled with little talons on the end of them. And in the base palm of the foot, you can just see a mouth and an eye beginning to form. And he just goes into a rage. Give me strength save with advantage because you are raging.
I start singing.
25.
25.
Gross.
With Jerry on one shoulder, your new foot growing on another,
So
and your rage effect, just as these 3 are about to start helping you and you kind of make them keep going, you just go into a rage, pull yourself out, and you just rage sprinting alongside as everyone is running.
If he punches his foot, does he count? Does that count as attacking
No,
someone per round?
I'm cursing at it because if it was going to be helpful, it would be like where it could actually help me run instead of on my shoulder.
Right?
What'd you get for your strength save? Because you stopped to help Ivory.
Oh, I've already done that. It was a 10, right? Or do I do it again?
Well, no. So
You
your
had
strength
me-
check to pull Ivory out was a 10. That was a fail. But because you stopped.
I've done a 17.
Oh, okay, that's right. So she's still stuck.
I'd cast reduce on her and pull her out.
Okay, so now give me another strength check with advantage because she's smaller. So I'll give you advantage on this one.
19 plus. It's just strength, not a saving throw. So
Correct.
So 20.
Now roll a con save for Ivory, please, since she was in the mire for a little while.
16.
16. Just barely misses. You watch as
What?
4 sets of legs are beginning to grow, but each leg is different.
Okay.
One's like a tentacle, another one's like insectoid,
Okay.
another one's like a human leg, and then another one you can't even recognize what leg form it's part of.
Okay.
And Ivory gets this look on her face like she just wants to start gnawing at the weirdness that's on her. But you pick her up and you're like, you start sprinting to start catching up with these guys.
Right.
Before long, as you guys come out of this muck and this bloody environment onto like some blackened stones and like the remnants of what feels like an old like cobblestone street, you kind of all just collapse and start breathing heavily as you realize that you're in the ruins now.
Is there urge?
Does my
Take
hand
my
come off?
dagger and start scraping my skin.
You just watch this Bella's like every now and then she sees a nodule, she pops it. But it's weird. Every time you pop it, not taking the time to smush them, they land on the ground and just run off into the darkness. They just kind of run away. You see their little like tiny insect legs kind of clatter. And some of them have heads that are too big, so they kind of fall over and get back up and start running again.
Stomp on them.
Okay.
They kind of remind me of my little guys.
Mm-hmm.
Am I here?
Oh, they don't look like that at all.
They kind of remind me of them.
They don't have.
I'm
They're a little bulbous eye, a chitin-like neck, and then 3 tripod insect legs that as soon as you pop them out of your skin, they land on the ground, protrude up, and just scatter off into the
My baby.
vapor.
I wonder if we're gonna have sound effects in this.
Hey.
Well, as you say that, you look at Morrow. There's a tail growing out of his tailbone with an eye on the end of it. There's a foot jutting out. Like, you look over at Jerry, who looks to see you guys come up into the ruined part of the building. And, you know, Jerry's new hand and new eye fingers are kind of staring down at you. But all of you, even though you, like, deal with the nodules on your skin, it's like you can't keep up with it. It's like there's large nodules and small nodules now on your skin. Almost as if this place is gradually changing you, is what it feels like it's doing. Your natural resistance and your constitution's keeping it at bay, but it's getting worse. And as you stand in this like edge of a ruined, it feels like maybe a ruined town, and you look about 100 feet off in the distance, you could see a series of boiling flames coming off of what looks like a cave entrance. But you can see silhouettes of creatures kind of moving around in front of it. You can see the dwarf. Well, give me a moment. I'm going to go scout the entrance. Just stay here under cover. That's when you notice he's got an eye on his forehead that kind of blinks. No, it's not a nodule. No. It's only a matter of time before my luck ran out. Anyways, I'll have the clerics take care of that when I get back. And he just kind of skulks off into the ruined rubble to kind of get closer to what he refers to as the Hell's Mouth entrance. What do you guys want to do while you're waiting? Ooh, Table of Horrors. Hey, guys. Thanks for raiding us. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Before Grim leaves, okay, no, I guess. How do we deal with these? The legs, the points of the legs on Ivory.
Oh, well, you can, if you've got the ability to cast Greater Restoration, it should work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And you can lop them off and then cast Greater Restoration. It prevents it. You want to cure the wound at the same time. It's a timing issue.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice as he holds up his left hand, you notice that 2 of his fingers are missing. Sometimes the timing's not so good. It doesn't quite help. But yeah,
she's faster now because she's got so many legs.
But you might want to wait till through the Hell's Mouth before you. Just let me go scout it out, and I'll tell you what I see.
Can I go with you? I would stay here.
No, you stay here, please.
Blink, 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 blink.
Yeah, exactly. And he just keeps going.
So I think if we cut them off, we'll be cutting off parts of our own body.
Mm-hmm.
Body everywhere.
What do you
Cut
think
your
if we like?
tentacles off. So cut your tentacles off, or your foot. We'd probably be cutting off parts of your actual body.
What if we maybe pour a little bit of Craig's whiskey on it or something?
I don't know if that will help.
Disinfected.
Disinfected.
I don't know if that will help. But
Don't know that would hurt
do you
either.
have greater restoration?
I have greater restoration because we had to do that for the girl that was trapped, who's now dead.
I have arcane recovering.
Which girl?
The
I
one
think
that we
it'll be
had to
okay.
help with, she was turned into stone.
Petrified.
The bad girl.
That's right.
Petrified.
I remember.
Petrified girl.
Petrified.
Petrified.
All right.
Parmesan.
Parmesan.
Am I permanently
Lesser
like?
restoration though.
I gotta sleep.
Jerry looks like shit.
What exactly does the fairy fire do?
It lights
Makes us
people up,
glow.
makes them glow.
We're in Hell's Mouth.
That way, what makes a target lit up and glow. So any attacks on that target would be at advantage.
That's good.
I think there's a dex effect as well, like they have a disadvantage on dex saves or something because they're lit up, like the proverbial.
We're waiting for Grim
Yeah.
popping zits.
Everybody, give me perception checks, if you would, please.
Okay.
I know I have lesser restoration. You said it had to be greater restoration?
Yeah, that's what he called it. He called it greater restoration. Yeah.
Strength of it.
15.
15,
19.
19,
20.
20.
Finally.
Finally, broke that streak.
Broke the
5,
streak.
6s, and
Fives and
2s, and
six and
4s.
I never got a 4. Sure.
14.
14.
5, 6s, and 10s.
Scarlett, what'd you get for perception?
No, I rolled
5.
5. Willa, perception?
5.
15.
15. Oh, that's right. I'm waiting for
Oh,
Bella.
that's right. You want to burn
Yeah,
everything
okay.
down. That's not exactly a wise action.
So now I can tell your hair.
23. So as you're so as you guys kind of like waiting for Grim to get back, a few minutes goes by. A few more minutes goes by.
We look over.
I mean, you're looking in the general direction. It's hazy, but your obsidian goggles give you a little bit more viewpoint. You don't see him at all. And he's now been gone about 10 minutes.
How long did he say he was going to be gone for?
He said he's going to go take a couple minutes to scout and come right back.
They just send someone else. Who's got good sneaky abilities?
Of course. He
Not the
killed
worst.
our guy. Of course he killed our guy.
I'm going to sneak around through the gate.
Be the mouth.
Mm-hmm. Sneak attack.
If you find a bit of him, remember to pick it up.
Get away with it.
There's advantage on
Did he
stealth.
ask us to do that in case?
He said that's what
And your pass without trace is now gone because it's been over an hour.
Well,
So,
I was concentrating on the reduced.
okay, that
without
would have
traces
done
and
it.
concentration, is it?
It is. You're stealthing into the area?
Mhm.
Okay.
1 3.
23. Let me show you what you see.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
They're going to lose trouble.
He has
Oh no. He's got
Board.
a board. We're
Oh.
screwed. We're screwed.
He had it
I noticed
hiding
that
from
upon
us
walking in.
I noticed it upon walking in too because he had ivory on him.
because you guys happen
Oh,
to
dear Lord.
know where it hides itself.
These guys are
It's still going to make yours.
here. You are coming in from the edge of that point. And that's what you can see in front of the house.
Look at that dwarf sleeping on the job. Oh no, wait, he's chained to a altar.
I
Yeah.
can't see around.
Is that what that
there's a
is?
bunch of dead bodies and one on an altar.
Is it the dwarf on the altar?
No,
Too skinny.
It's kind of hard to tell.
It's
Yeah,
a
it looks
desiccated
pretty
body on
long
the
for a
altar.
dwarf.
Desiccated body.
There's
Like
Unless they
actually-
drained him of blood and turned him into a raisin before putting him on there.
Yeah, they,
Maybe that's for all the,
Put 'em on
stuff
the,
out the blood.
the tackle stretcher.
Right.
Wonderful.
Righty then.
Okay.
4, 5, 6 about it.
See?
So we
Okay.
can
Ah,
see.
ah, ah. There could be some in the burning ruin.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. So you can see, like, they're once again, it's an extension of their like deformed selves. Like, you get the feeling that the three creatures meandering in front of the Hell's Mouth were once humanoid creatures. Their size and some of the remnants of them remind you of like deformed Goliaths. However, the other three creatures, the two that you see in front of the Hell's Mouth, look very different. They give me a nature check as you examine them a little more specifically.
The two with armor and
The
tails?
purple looking things.
Yeah,
Yeah, the ones with the armor and the tails.
with the armor and the
And
tails.
the tails.
12.
What's anything?
They're
No, that's with the corpse.
they're definitely not like the creatures you've seen up to this point. They look different. You can't tell if they're fiends, demons, or devils, but they feel like they're in that category. And you can also see on another rock off to the right, one that's even slightly bigger than they are, but it has wings. And they seem to be kind of like guarding the entrance. The three
Is it the caves
creatures,
or the entrance to the Hellmouth?
Correct.
The entrance to the cave is the entrance to the
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and you could see, like, Scarlet, you could see that one of the deformed, kind of like Cronenbergs, is like carrying the partial remains of something. And you just watch as it kind of like takes a chunk of flesh off of a stubby leg and peels a boot off and throws it on the ground and starts chewing on the foot, starts rending it. But the worst part is it eats it, and you watch as it spills out of its gut onto the ground, and it picks it up and starts eating it again.
Oh, so they're undead.
Not necessarily. Never seen anything like this. These creatures are transformative. They are strange, to say the least. One of them stops with a strange breathing apparatus on its body, puffing like huge green clouds of acid out of its backside, and just stops and kind of has these huge, like weird face mask, and it like looks around, and you watch as it walks over to another cadaver, like leaning up against, closer to the hell's mouth, and picks up a piece of it, rends off a piece of it, and starts kind of stripping the flesh off, and goes over to one of the other creatures, feeds it into its mouth, and it comes out the gut again. It's almost like they're in this weird kind of cycle of destruction.
So I slip back out and let them know what I see.
Okay. Give me another stealth check.
$25.
25. Ooh, well done. A few minutes has gone by, and Scarlet comes back.
Well, he's in there, but he's in pieces. Great. And I described everything that I could see. Now, what was the reason we were heading for the Hellmouth?
Because that was the path.
It's the direct route to Rexentrum and to the Ziggurat, and eventually to Jerry's ship. It's their smuggling path. That's how they smuggle people in and out of Rexentrum.
I'm just gonna say we have a really bad luck with dwarven guides. They don't do
Bella's
really
a
good about
Dwelf. You've done pretty good with her. Him,
She's part
it,
elf.
them.
She's got elf luck. I'm just saying.
Well, she's kind of the antithesis of everything she does. I mean, she is a cleric that likes the dead.
I say she likes spiders more than dead.
It was she likes spiders that make things dead.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
So would it be possible to try and do like a knowledge nature off of maybe her performance to kind of...
Yeah, you can give me either, based on what she told you and described for you, you can give me religion, and you can give me nature.
Yeah. 17.
17? What'd you get?
A 6.
6? You recognize these things for what they are. They're referred to as legion. They are creatures from Avernus that specifically follow orders of greater demons or greater devils. They're probably here with purpose. They're probably here with the intent on guarding the entrance, which is strange because the dwarf didn't mention that. So you get the feeling that something's changed recently.
Probably a
We can't
couple
go-
Jerry's went through.
Can't go around.
Around.
I mean, the one thing that the dwarf did mention, or Grim mentioned, the longer you stay in the vapor, the harder it is to be resistant to its alteration of you. The Hell's Mouth is supposed to lead you down into an underground cavern out of the vapor, and then it's a twisted underground dried up riverbed that he follows to get you into Rexentrum. But that's another 2 days journey by foot through the
tunnels.
cavern, through the tunnels.
Never mind.
Well, we'll never make it outside in the vapors.
Yeah, if we
We
don't
have to
get
go
out of the
through this.
vapor, we're going to be in trouble.
We're going to be coronavirus if we don't get out of the vapor.
Yeah.
So let's go at him.
I have an idea. This is a great one.
What is it? At this point, any idea.
I'm gonna take out a little vial. Do you remember how the purple worm digs?
Uh-huh.
How do you guys feel about digging?
I'm gonna make a tunnel.
What?
Mm,
How?
Yeah, too.
I mean, you've already seen Willow try to interact with the ground,
Yeah.
and you saw something respond to it. But now you guys are up in the ruins, so you're not in the blood mire right now. Right now, you're in a ruined old edge of a town. So there's a lot of old cobblestone streets and footpaths and ruined buildings. And the Hell's Mouth seems to be inside a larger ruined structure further up into the old town.
Let me get past.
Okay.
He was so cute.
Oh, he wants mama, I'm guessing. Because he just took like a 3-hour nap, 2-hour nap.
Really?
He was awake when I got there.
Hey.
Oh, he was? Oh,
Wait, here's
okay.
I was like, he woke up when I got there, so
Okay.
he was up around 7.
Yeah, I think he went down around 5.
Oh, wait, he was up for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Dang.
He was out late last night partying with mom. So right now they don't know you're there. So you guys do have an advantage of surprise at this point. So as long as you maintain your stealth going into the area, you'd have a surprise round.
Do we
Where-
have?
where do we have to get into?
We still have the head of the
So-
Asmer.
Yes.
I wonder if we could, like, maybe throw it to one side and try and create a distraction.
I have an idea.
You know it's bad when Jerry has ideas.
Just remember last time you almost got.
I have an idea, and then the hand is like scratching.
Yeah, scratching his own head while his other 2 hands are like pontificating.
I can summon something that maybe we could draw him off with, and then we can sneak past.
I mean, that's distraction might be our best course of action.
I could also make the earth erupt,
I could use
giving him
my.
difficult terrain.
You wouldn't be the only one to summon something. I could use maybe my little guardian. Could you? No, I can go. How many feet can I go again?
60 feet.
60 feet.
Ooh. and
What
I
are you
can-
summoning?
I can.
Because you're a warlock now, right?
Yeah,
How far can I?
a shadow spawn.
Shadow spawn.
Yeah.
What's the cast time on that?
It's VSM, so it must be.
No, it should say instant or 1 minute or
Duration
One
or the casting
action.
time?
casting time.
Yeah, one action.
Yeah, so it's
Casting
instant.
time, 1 action.
Yeah, so it's instant.
I can throw a casting darkness spell.
Magical darkness they can't see through. But
How large is it?
Should say in the spell.
Did you hear that, love?
Okay. Drow magic. You know the dancing light cantrip. You can cast fairy fire once per long rest, and you can cast the darkness spell once per long rest.
Could we do a combination of these? We get a distraction to lead them away from the area, get them bunched up. Yeah. We do a rough earth to make them difficult terrain so they can't move. And you
It's
cast
a
darkness
you
on
could
them.
cast darkness up to 60 feet away, and it makes a 15-foot sphere.
Yeah, my erupt earth is 20.
So she wants to do a ray of darkness, and he's gonna possibly summon something in the ray of darkness, and then scare him away.
Or we want to get them bunched up because that's not 15 feet. We want to get them away from the entrance, wherever the entrance is. Which one's the entrance? Is where the altar is?
Yeah, right down the middle.
Okay. So we gotta step over that body. So, like, ideally, we want them to go all right or all left.
Yeah, well, most of them are over here, so I
Yeah,
cast over
over
here.
by
Maybe
the-
they'll draw them over.
Yeah.
We can
Mars like
sneak that way
completely
and get
leaning
in.
out.
And if they start to turn their eyes on us, I could go erupt earth, or she can go darkness, or a combination of both.
Or you can cast something that'll cause them to. Well, some of them have wings, though.
Just
Right.
One of them has wings. I mean, she described one of them that was kind of similar to the other 2, but much larger. and had wings.
Okay.
But they're still walking around at the moment.
Well, one wasn't walking; it was just perched.
Wait,
The other two were standing, one on either side of the entrance. The other three are just kind of milling around in the openings in front of the Hell's Mouth.
And then if if we dash, maybe we can get by him. And then get attacked very much.
I'll
Oh.
probably follow.
Anybody cast invisibility?
And
Just throwing a good oldie out there.
I can turn
Yeah.
into a cloud.
But just you.
Yeah,
Right.
just me. I can cast fog cloud, which is naked cloud.
Cast nakedness.
There
I
is a debate.
cast naked.
There is a
Everybody
debate in
take off their clothes. We will cast invisibility and walk through there.
What is this, Terminator?
You can't see me.
You can't see me. I'm naked.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me.
It only works if you go like this,
Fairy
though.
Tale. Oh my God.
Make sure we're going to do this because it's one of my 2 spells I get to cast.
Remember that guy?
Yeah,
if
you
I
can
can't
carry
see
me too.
I'm only invisible when nobody's looking at me.
The one that was on the island. We'll go get me some water.
Oh, what's the plan?
Trying not to die a horrible death.
Well, the creature you can.
What level are you thinking of casting it at?
Well, I only cast at 5th level.
Gotcha. Okay.
You can try and lead it away.
I don't know how disciplined they are like that. The guard duty ones on the side are probably more disciplined than the other ones.
I think maybe that one is in control because that one looks like it's the just perched there, probably telling the other one what to do.
It's probably like a leader or captain.
So I was like, yeah, you're right, Morrow.
Thought about
I haven't seen you guys for a while.
I didn't even know there was a game this week. But there wasn't one on Thanksgiving weekend.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's Callista's
Carla was
fault.
going to be back, so I was like, yay.
Yeah, we were 50-50 based on when Carla got back.
Okay.
So, not Shiloh, but Carla. Shiloh only sleeps at games, so I knew he'd be here.
You can drive
It's the
for
best 3 hours
you can
sleep he
drive
ever
for
gets.
15 hours, but don't let him sit down for
oh,
like
we literally
4 hours in a
like
room.
3 and 3 and 4 and 3 and yeah, we split it the entire
Well, you
way.
got to figure the day that we went up, I woke up at like 5 or 6 in the morning, and then she spelled me in Vegas like midnight that night. So it's like what, 19, 20 hours or something like that.
I think the longest I've traveled is up north. I traveled 14 hours straight.
When you guys want to watch it?
End of December.
Oh, you can go up there, that, then you can't go for West End here. Come on.
I have a hard time getting out of town.
I know. Just mess with you.
I would love to go to West End here, but yeah.
He just stole one of my gummy nerds.
I saw
Did
it.
he?
That's why I started snickering over here because I
Well, I
saw
want
it.
If he's allowed to have one, I want one.
Actually, pass it around.
Is that good? There aren't any left. Not many left.
You've lost your candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you pointing at?
Two more
He knows
bags.
exactly what they are.
But you have fruit snacks.
Yeah, but they're not nerds.
Fruit snacks.
All right, what's the plan?
Okay,
Dying a horrible death.
here's an okay. If you're willing to do the shadow thing, we'll see if we can lead them all into one area, and then we can do other things to try and keep them there. while we rush past.
Yeah.
I have a question. So, as a ranger,
Mhm.
I have a favorite enemy. And my favorite enemy.
Enemy? Your favorite enemy?
I picked monstrosities and aberrations. With these,
The 3 creatures wandering about are definitely aberrations.
okay. And then the other 3?
Sounds like based on what Bella figured out, they're demons and devils.
And those don't count as.
No, they're demons and
They're,
devils.
they're fiends.
So I would have advantage.
Demons and devils getting along?
That's on
That's weird.
advantage on survival checks to track your favorite enemy, as well as on intelligence checks to recall.
Technically, they're
information about
legions, so
them.
they're devils.
Okay. Monstrosities are monsters in the strictest sense, frightening creatures that are not ordinary, not truly natural, and almost never benign. Okay.
Yeah, the 3 creatures that keep regurgitate or the cadavers fall out of their guts and they eat them again. Those are definitely aberrations based on Bella's description. Yeah.
Utterly alien beings, many of them have any magical abilities drawn.
I mean, technically, Jerry's an aberration.
So I have
What am I?
advantage against
You're a monstrosity.
What else is Faye?
You are Faye.
Alright.
I am a happy tree. Bob Ross is my friend.
Mom, I'm hungry.
I know. Okay.
Now I just got
Trying
this
to go through
terrible
my character.
image of Bob Ross drawing Willa, and she's eating something like Bob Ross, but like
Happy little tree.
happy little trees.
And they're all they're all like eating appendages and stuff.
We're gonna give this one a foot on its shoulder. We'll put a little
But
happy
it's a
eye
happy
right
foot.
here. We'll put a little happy eye right here.
Over here we have very happy Cronenberg.
How affected am I at the moment? I don't know.
They were making your con saves.
Oh, thank you guys.
So-
I appreciate that.
I mean, every now and then a little eyeball grows on you, and you have to squeeze it off and throw it on the ground.
That's not a permanent thing like food art.
Correct. Failing your con saves gives you the opportunity to earn an appendage.
Can it be a good appendage?
Well, Ivory has 4 feet on her back and 4 feet on her bottom. I mean, her normal feet and then the 4 feet on her back.
So Willa's used to growing extra appendages when she's a tree. You know.
Yeah, that aren't slimy tentacles.
Exactly. But like, I'm just trying to figure out how much it would bother her.
So as you guys are planning, I need everyone to give me fresh con saves.
But she's
Well, I'm
feeding
assuming
back.
this isn't taking us as long to plan
Jesus
as
Christ.
us.
That's not good. That one got me. That's a 10.
10.
Mhm.
Okay.
15.
15.
23.
So far, just Morrow saved.
I can't turn around
You
right
saved.
now.
Somebody roll for Callist.
No.
I'll roll for you.
Yeah, roll for Callist.
No.
Here, I'll roll.
wait.
I'll roll.
Yeah. No, Willa owes Callista a roll because Callista rolled a couple times before.
Is the DC a
I
5?
rolled 12 for
A
her.
3?
I rolled bad for you. Sorry, I rolled 2 3s in a row, so that's exciting.
Is the DC a 5?
No.
Well, I failed then. I got a 5.
I have a +7 in my con.
Okay.
It was a 4 then. No? Okay.
So, Jerry, take another point of exhaustion.
Awesome, man. Oh, I'm going to die before
Will
I
that take a
even
point of
get it
exhaustion?
Done.
What'd you get, Scarlett?
Alright, we're gonna do a
17, you're good.
Gas.
Where,
What'd you get?
Okay.
Mine-
21?
How do I know what exhaustion
No, mine
does to you?
would. Yeah, it's 21.
23?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is exhaustion? It gives you a disadvantage on all your rolls, right?
Well, I mean, this is your second point.
So
Yeah, so now I'm
if
going
you
to be
click
dead
them,
soon.
it tells you underneath it.
Oh, jeez.
You smile.
You said con?
Con save, yes.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Let's touch your shoulder.
Oh, my speed's halved and I disadvantage on ability checks. Awesome.
23, you're good.
Oh, look, 6. I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's 4 more to go. You're fine.
Ha ha ha. That's very funny, you.
Ivory got 18.
Okay. Ivory's good too.
Maybe he should eat a good berry.
Huh?
Maybe he should
Well, I
eat a
guess
good
before
berry.
I die, I should just cast a spell then.
Why would you be dying? Okay, so
I'm slowly dying.
we're
That's
all
okay.
slowly dying.
You watch as Jerry gets a palsy.
Can you,
Poured in my.
You see another
non-stroky
face
side.
beginning to kind of like start to form in his
No,
cheek.
it's the next one. You're like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
The second
can you
head.
truly die if you've been vivisected and put back together?
Look
Hey.
over to Willa. You see Willa's got a Quato beginning to form in her torso.
If I split myself apart, will the other parts fall off?
Don't know until you try.
I'm too weak to do that.
Now
Okay.
you only need 3 exhaustion
So
points.
it's-
to
Yeah,
die.
right.
So you would cast your thing first to see if they chase after it to clear the entrance. So
No, fight it.
we'll fight it, yeah, but
Yeah.
you want them to go into one area.
Right.
I have a Erupt Earth, which is a,
So you have 90
20
feet on that
cube.
spell.
Yeah.
and Erupt Earth is 120.
And you're currently way off and out of the way. So you'd have to make, once again, what you guys are planning for is to make your stealth checks and then execute the plan.
Oh,
That's
that's
what
what
you're
we're
looking to
fail.
do.
So okay.
Oh, yeah. Why
Okay.
didn't I do this before I failed?
So I want to try and do the hide in plain sight. It's you can spend 1 minute creating camouflage for yourself from naturally occurring materials.
So
Once
you're
you
gonna cover yourself in
camouflage-
blood and gore?
Yes, you can try to hide by pressing
Oh no, she's
yourself
doing the Schwarzenegger
we're-
from
we're-
Predator.
Yeah.
up against the solid.
Her eyes
surface
just open,
and gain
looks
plus
around,
10 bonus.
closes again.
It's only
You look like a pillar of rock. She just moves like a little
only
bit.
if I
every-
stop.
Every time they blink.
Is there,
Is that
is there
getting
any
closer?
hills nearby? We could just have Bella roll you down a hill.
I don't know if that would work.
Oh, wait a
There are
minute.
boulders.
Wait a minute. Let's see. What you doing, kicking me, boy?
So we have to stealth first.
No matter what, to get in range
To
of his
get
spell,
close, yeah.
you're going to have to stealth to get
We gotta
into range.
travel a little ways to get to where we gotta go.
And that's to maintain your surprise round.
So, I mean,
I have
disadvantage.
advantage in stealth.
Yeah, we all have disadvantage right now. Well, I do. I do have a point of exhaustion.
Well, technically, you can cast Pass Without a Trace again and give everyone a plus 10. Which means you'll be concentrating on that.
Until things happen.
Okay, so Ivory goes back to her normal. Oh no, it was only for a minute, anyways, right?
Right. She's back to being.
Back to being normal.
Yep.
And I will cast Pass Without Trace again.
And I make a suggestion that we tie a rope to each other because I have night vision, and when I throw my globe of darkness,
That's not
kind
gonna.
You can't see in its magical darkness.
Yeah, magical.
Magical.
Yeah, only
you
like
can't
Your
see
night
it.
vision is normal darkness.
only certain warlocks can see in magical darkness.
And that's with true sight. Although,
Oh, yeah,
because
I
you
just-
know
I
what
can do it.
Legion
I was
is.
like, what? I know.
Yeah, you know that Legion has true sight.
So I can.
Yeah, so
So that's.
So we're
that's
kinda
like
screwed.
indivisibility, anything that has to do with vision.
I can
they
still
see.
do Erupt Earth though, and that gives dirt to the whole terrain. One of them's flying, but
No, let's see.
if they are
But that
distracted,
darkness isn't going to make a difference.
I can make them blind.
You know what? I could try. That's 30 feet though.
I
Because
can
they
make
don't have
someone
blind sight.
I can make someone
Oh.
blind too.
I can make them blind and deaf.
Me too.
Yeah, and the DC's what? 10?
Range is 30 feet.
So
So
if they see us, they're gonna be blind and deaf.
we can do. Okay,
Oh,
so when we're
they're
rushing
usually
past,
immune to that
if
shit.
we can
We'll
do
both
that.
do that.
Yeah, because it's at the range of 30 feet. If they come closer, we can do that.
Go up her leaves.
So plan is get Jerry within 90 feet, summon Shadow Spirit
Mhm.
to distract them,
I can.
and then you guys sprint
Yeah.
into the entrance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So everyone, give me stealth checks. You have plus 10 because Pass Without a Trace is up.
I rolled 2 12s, so because of disadvantage, and that's it.
So it's 22.
Oh, well, it's plus 6.
I got
So
a
28.
I got a night.
Thanks. Is that with the plus 10?
Yes.
Okay. So Jerry
Oh,
with
the
a
DC was a 20. Sorry.
19,
30.
28.
28, 30,
30.
25, 30. Marv,
Just strutting out.
what you get?
34.
34?
Natural 20.
Damn.
Nice.
Well, nat 20s tonight, man.
Yeah, it's only on the ability
Damn.
checks. If I have to get a fight, it's
28 for Ivory.
Okay. So you guys can put yourself anywhere on the board up to these rocks and these rocks.
Could we just use the pointy finger?
Put yourselves anywhere up in there that you want.
Pointy fingers. Where did our pointy fingers go?
Uh-huh.
We finally need them, and we don't
We'll
have
use the
them.
one and then we'll just. Do we want to put them all there? Or do we
Jason,
just
where'd you hide the pointy
no,
up to
fingers?
you.
probably wanna-
Aren't they over in the corner like they
We're all just
normally
one
are?
per fingers, Mom.
I can't see. And I have a 10-ton toddler.
Just
on my lap.
use your one
Oh, I
character.
see them there. You're right.
So heavy. He's so heavy, my leg is gonna go numb.
I'll take the green. Because of the tree.
Woo.
Woo!
Okay, go.
Gween and Boo and Pween.
I want to be by the tree.
No.
The dead tree.
We're all
Purple.
just one person.
Give me the purple.
Where do you want yours?
Behind that rock. And Ivory. I have
We should try to be all the way behind all those rocks over
Yeah,
there.
because we're gonna try and get them.
Because we're
over
gonna
here.
try to run
Because
down.
Because you guys have a free round.
Okay,
So you have a
I'll go where
surprise
we're going.
action, surprise bonus action, and a
We're going
surprise
through.
move.
Okay, so we're going through that hole there.
Okay, so on that side of the rock. The big rock closest
Do you need to move your camera again?
Yeah, because we need to like
I'll put
basically,
you by Willa.
and basically what we need to do is just use all of our movement and everything to dash and
Yeah,
get
same
through.
place. Everybody's going right there.
And
Basically.
I'm gonna be on his back still
Okay.
because I'm exhausted.
Okay.
He's holding on to the foot.
So,
Jerry's other hand is
Yeah.
holding on to Marvin's
He's
other-
hanging onto my tail. He's got the tail with the eyes.
No, Jerry's other hand is holding on to.
Why do I know? I just see disaster, but let's go through this, guys. I really have a horrible feeling about this, but let's just go.
just a
through it.
horrible feeling. That's
If we could just get through this,
It's gonna
I would
be
be
bad.
happy.
It's gonna be bad.
I was trying to put myself as a wall for everybody else. That's why I picked that side. But
all
You
right.
may
So you
have
guys
to
all stealth
turn
into
it.
position.
Turn it back so that the camera
Yeah.
sees all.
There you go. That's good. So you guys all stealth into position.
Mhm.
So Jerry, you have your surprise action, your surprise bonus action, your surprise move.
Okay. Well, first thing I have to do is hello, buddy. Thank you. Keep hold of your hand. please.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Keep your hands to yourself.
keep your hand to yourself.
Okay. All right. Enough kung fu. Okay. So I'm gonna cast Summon Shadow Spawn.
Okay. Up to 90 feet. So you're in
Yeah.
range wherever you want to put it.
What do I do? I have a figure for my Shadow Spawn.
You do. There you go.
Ooh, look at that guy. He looks spooky.
I want to use my hand.
He's like Casper the Unfriendly Ghost.
It does look like
I'm gonna put him right
or
there.
like a Dementor.
Where are you putting them?
Or
Like you
Okay.
wait, do you
Love it.
remember in Star Trek that creature that like ate Tasha Yar?
I don't
Okay, this will all be simultaneous.
I haven't seen
Okay.
a lot of
So you put it there.
That's the original.
Mhm.
Anything you want to do with your bonus action?
The only one I saw was Enterprise, and I
Um,
didn't even finish it.
Bonus
I mean, that's what
action.
happened, and I got
Wait.
sad.
Waiting for them to like react so that then I can run or I can make him run.
Technically, this will all be simultaneous. So we'll say that you
Yeah.
cast and then you start running.
Well,
Is what you're doing,
we
right?
cast, but we have to see what their reaction is. If they all start moving toward the
Okay.
thing,
All right.
then we have a chance to get by. Then
Okay.
that's when we'll run.
Anybody else want to do anything to help with the distraction?
Okay, I'm gonna. Can I like if they can gather? If they all fall for the distraction, and they get within a 20-foot cube of each other away from the entrance, I want to cast Erupt Earth.
Okay, so
Good
you're
idea.
holding your action, waiting for that to happen. Okay.
I don't even want to look.
Get it scared boy.
Anything you want to do?
Oh, what can I do? That's a good question.
Damn it! Why do I
Oh, no.
Goes up, uses my new
Mara's
charm
my new headless
to
player.
convince them that we
She's
want to
always
go
waving out of the
past for
camera.
free.
I'd rather just wait before I can even cast anything. 'Cause technically, even my little guardian spirit can't even.
Well, you can hold your action,
Yeah, so I'm gonna hold my action.
Bella,
Yes.
but you gotta give me a description of what your action's gonna be based on what would trigger it.
Okay, I know what to do.
are Legion immune to fear?
Are they?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay.
There we go.
Do I know if abominations are immune to fear? Aberrations, sorry.
Aberrations, they can be, but you don't know if these particular ones are. But they have the potential to be resistant or immune to it.
I doubt creatures that
Probably
live
went
in
to the
this
other
town
side now.
That's
area,
not the other side.
if they're afraid of anything.
I'm going to cast fear.
Okay.
So on fear, hold on,
They make a wisdom save, right?
hold on. It's a concentration, so we're going to lose pass without a trace.
Correct.
Which would be bad.
Never mind.
Well, I mean, if you pop off your plan, they're going to know you're there anyways. The plan is to distract them to give you long enough time to sprint by them and into the Hell's Mouth.
You project a phantasmal image of a creature's worst fears. Each creature in a 30-foot cone must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or drop whatever it's holding and become frightened for the duration, which is up to a minute. While frightened by the spell, a creature must take the dash action.
Right.
But you want the popcorn now instead of me?
Okay. There
Is
we
that the Dorito? You know, we have plain popcorn in the break room.
He likes Doritos.
go.
Okay.
Doritos popcorn.
Yeah, Brielle did not like them. She said they were too spicy.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird. It's supposed to be just regular Doritos, so
It just tastes like Doritos.
don't know what to tell you.
Your daughter's weird.
That's no. So he cast Spirit Shadow.
Yeah.
Holding Erupt Earth. Bella, anything you want to use as a potential?
If we fuck up, I'm gonna use 5th level blindness deafness.
Okay.
Same here.
As an action.
Mhm.
So you're holding. You're getting ready to sprint. As soon as it's distracted, you're getting ready to sprint. You and Ivory as soon as it's distracted, correct?
And
So.
magic missile? No? Are we trying to distract
We're just-
them or
We're trying to distract them, and then if
Yeah, we don't want to shoot something
we
at them
don't
and
have- if we don't
see
have
how
to
the
shoot 'em,
is.
I'm sure we have to shoot them.
This one shifts over here. This one shifts towards it as well. These two do not seem to react, and this one doesn't seem to react, other than it pivots to look in the direction. So you're casting Erupt Earth,
Yeah.
and they have to make a dex save.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is 3 different dex saves. Okay. That is a 24 for the wing guy, because he has advantage. That is an 8 for the shambler. And then that is an 18 for the other guy.
So only one failed?
Yep.
Okay, the other two take half damage.
Okay, go for it.
19, 26.
26.
So
So they'll take 13
For two of them.
and
The heat builds on
26.
itself, so I can see what
And the
should
ground-
fly if they're spicy.
The ground becomes difficult. for
Yeah.
the terrain.
So I think they're overdosed with paprika,
Probably.
because that's one of the ingredients in Doritos. So I think they're just slightly more paprika-kiki, if that can be a word. All right. So with that, you erupt the earth around them.
It becomes difficult terrain.
Fly, or let's see.
Now, who do you want to target with that? Do you want to target these two? Because you could technically drop it so it blinds and deafens them, but you guys will have to sprint through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. So, because it says
Wow.
at a higher level, when you cast a spell, if it's past 3rd level or higher, you can target one additional creature for each slot above. Which, so you can choose. You can blind, deafen a foe. Choose creature within range, which I believe I am in range.
Yep.
But it doesn't say like there's no con save.
It says
though.
con save.
Be up at the top.
Oh,
It's your 17.
Oh, con save. Okay.
So
they
it's
need
con
to make,
save?
Yeah, they need to make a con save.
They will both fail.
Thank
That's
God.
awesome.
Sprint!
So these two are deafened and blind, leaving just this guy reacting. So you said you wanted to do the same thing on him, right? So that's a
Yes.
con save.
And he has a dex save of 15.
Is it Dex?
No.
Dex or con?
Con of 15.
It should be 17 because yours.
Mine's 15.
You guys
Different-
have different magic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
different spellcasting modifiers.
Mhm.
10 plus 2 is 12.
Nice.
So he's now blind and deafened.
Okay.
We run.
So,
Went past without a trace because I did not drop it.
Mhm. Yep.
okay.
Because I didn't
So-
cast the fear.
So everyone give me fresh stealth checks. You have a plus 10 on that.
Oh, that sucks.
Really?
Oh wait, I don't have to because I'm on your shoulders.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
19?
32.
32, 19.
Oh.
Is that plus 10?
damn.
Okay.
28.
You said plus 10?
Yeah.
33.
Yay, the spell's broken.
30.
30. Okay.
Oh.
So how many feet can you move? 30 or 40?
I believe it's 30, but I'm trying to.
Okay.
Oh no, it's 40 foot walking.
Is this
Okay.
considered natural terrain?
But so are we doing like a stealth check? Because I'm carrying him with me, right?
Correct. So, put you by him there. Put you just
Ivory only got a 23.
so. Put you there. Put Ivory through it as well, and then Jerry is with. All right, so that gets you guys close enough into the you're moving through the darkness and the blindness affected areas, right? They are swinging wildly around you. So for the purposes of this next round, I'm just going to have, as you pass through them, they're going to take attacks of opportunity with disadvantage because they're blind and deaf against each one of you as you move through them.
Any attack?
Your spiritual creature is keeping those other ones pinned and distracted
Okay.
on the other side.
Uh,
So we'll do, we'll just go left to right.
Did that many attacks?
Yeah.
They each get one.
Reaction, right? So there's
So-
more than 3 people. Or
1, 2, 3. No, that's right. There's only 3 of them. So we'll say there's one coming at Morrow, one coming at Bella, and one coming at Scarlet. Morrow, that's going to be a miss. Bella, 18.
That's so. It's armor class, right?
Yes.
mhm.
He's
And then
18.
plus 2 with the 19. So 19. So technically no,
What's your armor class?
because it's 19 plus 1.
Okay. So
Or sorry,
miss.
18 plus 1. 18 plus 1.
we need to change your armor class.
That's going to be a
She was working on her character sheet.
yeah.
Oh, got it.
That'll be a 12 on the third one. So as you guys pass through, you can see them flailing their arms and claws, kind of like just coming over your heads as you guys just kind of sprint through and make it into the Hell's Mouth.
Okay. Finally, one of my spells is worth it.
Alright.
No chance we could grab a leg of that dwarf guy on the way, huh?
I don't think we had a chance.
Well, we're passing by a body, but.
Was there a leg of the dwarf that we could have swooped? Except we were going through the blindness and death. And
We
deafness
gotta
too.
just go, man.
Yeah, we just gotta go.
There. It doesn't matter anyway.
Is there a piece
Don't
of his
worry
what's
about
left of scruffled hair?
Oh my gosh.
That's all he was. It's like
Don't worry about it. It doesn't really matter. Actually, none of this really matters, but it's
Okay,
fun.
Jerry.
And that is why the optimistic humanoid person that you posted that from is the guy who was briefing Jerry instead of being Jerry.
Oh yeah, Jerry's totally different now.
So as you guys sprint by the creatures, you make your way into the entrance of the Hell's Mouth. And that's when you feel it suddenly just kind of drop down. And suddenly it's pitch black. Everything you see is pitch black. You cannot see a thing.
Even with my night vision.
Even with my dark
Dark
vision.
vision.
You guys are all still wearing those goggles.
That's
Oh.
just
Yeah, you just kind of now you can all of a sudden your night vision kicks in and you can finally see. You get the
Oh,
feeling
God.
that the goggles were for the outside, and now that you're down in the dried out caverns of the riverbed, the vapor's not getting down here. For whatever reason, those goggles are giving you the ability to look through those vapors and see things. This is also the first time you notice you all just feel this intense, searing pain as dozens of nodules immediately erupt off your skin, shooting like little streams of pus and blood, and they collapse to the ground. They start writhing in pain, and they just kind of just pop like popcorn on the ground. Each of you will take 12 points of necrotic damage.
Do we get our exhaustion back?
No, because you haven't long rested.
So maybe it was that thing causing us to be exhausted. Who knows?
Nice try.
Hey, the only bad question is the one you don't ask.
No,
No,
there's
that's
other
not
bad
true.
ones you ask a lot, but that's all right.
Because sometimes those bad questions expose your true intelligence.
Or give me some really good ideas. No, you don't notice that, but you know what? Because you don't notice it, I think it's going to happen anyways.
All right. Sorry it took all that time to set up the board.
You run over your foot again?
No, I have a bag. It got
And my caster? My 25-cent caster?
I was smashing her bag.
No, I'm the 25-cent caster here. Spellcaster.
Yeah, it's true.
Hey, 25 cents, you more like a nickel.
Yeah, I know, right? All the bad rolls I've been getting. I'm worth.
So as you guys kind of descend into the entrance, you can feel it kind of go down about 30 feet. The air gets a lot cooler. It's a lot more damp. You can hear water kind of dripping off the rocks. The smell, that copper blood smell, kind of begins to dissipate. You get down to about 60 feet and you find yourself in a riverbed that's maybe about 3 inches deep. It's stagnant water. It's not like foul, but it's stagnant. Like it doesn't get a lot of water through here anymore. And it's about 30 feet across and it just goes on. It like meanders. At this point, you guys have been going all day. Do you want to find a place?
Yes.
Do you want to travel for a while first, then long rest, or what's the plan?
Let's get farther away from.
We'll get farther in,
A little
and
bit
then
farther
we'll find
away
a
from the
spot and
Legion.
we
Yeah,
can camp
especially
inside
since
here.
if we
So-
break our concentration, they might hear us.
Yeah, while we're traveling, can we make a survival check to look for
You
a
can.
good
Go
place
for
to,
it, yeah.
camp?
Yeah, give me survival as you kind of lead the group down into the underground river.
I have
How far
disadvantage on
How
that.
long did it take us to get down here?
Maybe about
I
5
get a-
minutes, 10 minutes. So you still have pass without a trace up for the next 50 minutes.
20 on the survival
But it's
check.
still 18 because I have a +7.
You notice that as you're kind of leading the group, there's a couple things you notice. First of all, the interior of the cave is damp with like lichen and moss and other things. The water never gets much deeper than maybe 3-4 inches, but it's stagnant. So it's kind of got a pond and kind of like foul smell in the sense that it's just stagnant water. But the stagnant water has been breeding like phosphorescent kind of lichen. There's low hues of yellow and green and red, kind of giving a kind of eerie color to the riverbed as you're kind of walking through it. You're looking up. It's then you begin to realize that at some point exterior rivers were feeding this main one, and that's when you see like a kind of like a finished end to one of those rivers, but it's like 10 feet above the riverbed you're in. It's almost like a perfect dugout of rock and sand right above the main dried out riverbed. Takes a little effort to kind of climb up into it.
Help everybody.
Yeah, you kind of like get everybody up into it. It's maybe 15 feet across, about 40 or 50 feet deep, but it's mostly collapsed in behind you. So it's kind of a pretty easy guarded area because it gives you a pretty good view of both sides of the river, but also makes it impossible really for anyone to potentially sneak up on.
Yeah, they're not gonna see us just laying there. Though it takes effort to see us spot
Yeah.
us up there.
Potentially, yeah.
You start a roaring bonfire and you start cooking
Get
bacon.
the marshmallows out.
Put it out, you fools!
Anybody
They'll
want to
see us!
score?
We need wood for that, guy. Quite gross.
All right.
Dan, like it's not gonna burn very well.
No.
No, she makes stuff.
All right, sausages, bacon, nice toasty
That's
tomatoes.
fine. I'm gonna go to bed.
You guys watch immediately as Jerry just kind of unpacks a kind of threadbare blanket, lays it on the ground, and like falls asleep.
I don't even have a stiff
Face
bake,
first.
I just have my robe. I curl up with my little staff, my little rod of rulership.
Hey.
And I
Any
go
moment
to
now, the
sleep.
power's going to get turned off. I know it. Hey, Dad, what does this do? Click.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Don't stand up. They always forget.
So, it's dark in here.
There we
Strange kind of cavernous echoes, and every now and then you could hear that familiar sound of something crawling in and out of open spaces and pebbles kind of falling away. You know, eventually you see a silhouette of a small flying creature kind of flitter by, but so far nothing too nefarious. You have a little bit of time before setting into your long rest. Anybody want to work on anything before then, or what's the plan for the watch?
I'll take first one.
I'm gonna pull out that Magic
Well.
Mansion book that
Okay.
I have because
Okay.
I still want to try and learn Magic Mansion.
Okay.
The,
Are we still allowed?
do we only have
Sure.
two characters that are suffering from exhaustion?
Mm-hmm.
Me and
Huh.
Ivory are also suffering from this.
I think Willa has a point of
Yeah,
exhaustion.
so
Jerry has
basically-
two.
Yeah, two.
But I'm not, and those two aren't.
So is it
I
you
don't
only
think
get
so.
1 point per long rest?
Correct.
Oh Jesus.
So I'm thinking the people suffering
Is it
exhaustion.
lesser restoration?
let
You
them-
have a
Does
foot
that or
growing
is it
out of
greater?
your
Greater.
shoulder.
I think
You're
I'm
not
gonna
suffering from
I'm gonna relearn a
exhaustion?
few spells, but other than that, I'm going to
I
bed.
failed my con save. Did I take on the exhaustion?
No, that was a different save.
That's
That
a-
was
I-
for the appendages that were growing on your
I was
body.
just growing the appendages, so I wasn't. So that's why I was thinking the people that are suffering exhaustion, take a rest without having to take a watch, and the people, the three of us can take
We
watches.
can do, switch out watches. I'm okay with that.
Swatches.
Your swatches.
Watches.
So Scarlett's taking first watch. You're reading your book, learning more about Magic Mansion. Give me investigation for starters.
We can take the mid watch, and you take the last one.
I'll take that.
So Morrow take second watch. Da. And then Bella taking the final watch.
Still trying to
What'd
like
you get?
expand my poor little
12.
guardian.
I mean, give me an Arcana check with disadvantage because you're struggling with the magic.
15.
15. It's complex. It's different. It is advanced magic, so you get the feeling that maybe a few more days worth of study, maybe you can get this thing down and copied and understood.
I'm trying to make it invisible chicken dance. Dance, chicken.
So as everyone settles in to their rest,
Anyone wants some cards with me?
I gotta watch
It's
him
not
go.
on watch. Okay, not the time.
Yeah.
there's like a very awkward
It's
silence
like,
as
really,
you know
really want
you
some.
watch Marrow's kind of staring at his new tail, and Bella's over there finally picking off the last scab of one of the nodules and getting rid of the eye, and
Make it tough.
Scarlett's like taking dried blood out of her hair and just kind of pulling it off like cotton candy.
I'm gonna kind of walk along one of the walls and scuba with water that might be slightly cleaner, and you get the blood because I still have the residue with the acid blood.
Yeah.
Willa,
Give me a survivor check as you do that. Just give me survival.
Willa is definitely mimicking a wilted plant at this point. Too much death. I can't
Ooh,
eat all
nat
this
20,
death.
so 21.
Yeah. While everyone's settling into sleep and you take first watch, you kind of climb down the 10 feet into some of the pools of water near the edge, and you actually find some of the more healthier growing lichen, and you head over to there where it's kind of like dripping off the moisture that they're kind of bound to on the rocks. And there the water does seem a little bit cleaner, almost as if the lichen's kind of filtering it slightly. You dip your hands in and you kind of like begin to put it on your head, and that's when you notice that some of the lichen gets on your hands from doing that, and some of the lichen wraps around your fingers where you kind of had cuts, and they immediately heal.
Nice. All right, I scoop up some of it and I take it back up to spread it around and let them know what happened.
Okay, kind of. Well, they're all asleep because you're on watch.
Sprinkle it on our.
All right.
So yeah, you like gather it into like a small leather bag.
Great.
You kind of
Medicine
take it up and
checks.
set it down. Give me a perception check for your watch.
You get a bucket for Jerry. Wakes up with mud bath. Just,
22.
Okay. It's like about an hour into your watch. You're kind of sitting on the edge, and looking down and around, keeping an eye on the riverbed to your right and left. Everyone's either in their meditative or in their sleep state around you, trying to recover. Jerry's doing bunny rabbit chasing in his sleep, You catch his hand kind of staring at
He
you.
says bunny rabbit chasing, but what he means is fleeing in terror.
You catch, like, you look over tomorrow and he's sound asleep, but his tail's like blinking at you, but then
Those didn't burn off.
no, they're still physically attached to them.
Just the evidence.
You can see that Jerry's hand is like asleep and curled into Jerry's neck, and it's like you can hear 5 little fingertips like kind of rattling along with his snoring. Willa's in her meditative state because she doesn't technically have to sleep, right?
Not as a tree. I'm not as sure as a druid or a dryad.
No, Dryad's Fey, so you're Sylvan in nature. So you're more meditative in your rest, more so than anything else. But you can hear something. It sounds like someone talking to themselves. You kind of look down and around, and you see this 2-foot tall silhouette of like a humanoid-looking creature. They're wearing. They're kind of like wearing like simple leathers, but they have like a helmet on that has like a small candlelight on it. You immediately recognize the scent of goblin. You can kind of almost smell them when they're around, and you can hear the goblin like talking to himself. And he's picking up rocks and looking underneath rocks. He's kind of like scraping lichen of different colors off other rocks. And he's just kind of, I don't know why I bother coming down here. Can never find anything that makes any sense. And he doesn't seem to notice you immediately. Just kind of scavenging at the stagnant pool edges. And then you hear him pick up a rock and you go, oh, I'll be damned. There's one. And you hear him like lean into the water and pick something up, and then as he holds it up and it's like squirming in his hand, and he like squeezes it kind of hard and drops it into a small leather bag on his belt. Hey, old Chumskins will like that one for sure. He likes the tasty ones. And he's just he's trying to be cautious, but he's not being super stealthy, because you can pick up on him talking to himself and moving about around down below you. Anything you want to do?
I'm gonna just let him go.
Josh, come here.
Over the next hour, he kind of drifts in and out, and about a dozen times he plucks something out from underneath a rock, and finally after that final time, and I think this boat's fished out. Go look further down. And he kind of like turns and goes deeper down into the riverbed. I will finish your watch. You turn around, wake up tomorrow for a second watch.
Let him know what I found as far as on the moss.
Okay.
Lichen.
Okay. The lichen. What about the?
And you notice you take a little handful of it and you put it on one of your wounds, and you watch as the wound kind of seals up and kind of turns into a pink scar as it gives you 2 hit points back.
Okay.
And I tell him about the goblin, which way he went.
He went further. He went in the direction you guys will eventually be going, but he went further down, and it sounded like he was harvesting
Okay.
something.
So he was. Yeah. All right. So, the lichen, it's all down below though.
Mhm.
I'm gonna climb down below and try putting some on my foot and my tail. See what happens.
Okay. So as you kind of
Bring a bag of it.
yeah, well, she brought a little bag of it. I mean, enough to
but
experiment
I've
with
got
it.
like
Yeah.
I've got big.
So as you see Scarlet off to bed and you check everybody, you kind of climb down from your listening post and you follow her directions. You kind of go over to some of those pools of water that are a little bit cleaner and you see where she gathered some. And you begin to like gather some more and you put it up. The first thing you notice is you begin to cover both the foot appendage and where the tail is. You notice that they gain in size slightly from the effect of the lichen. You watch as the foot protrudes out a little bit more. You then watch as the tail gets a little bit longer and then spawns a second eye.
Oh, great.
You get the feeling that it improves their condition, not so much your condition.
Okay.
Directly, when you like apply it to them
Right.
directly. So whatever the magic of the lichen is, it seems to affect them differently than just kind of your sores and wounds on your body.
Do I know anything about the lichen as far as whether it be?
Give me a nature check as you kind of like. Well, actually, you give me nature or medicine.
Okay, I'll do a medicine check.
Okay.
A 17.
Yeah, you recognize about 6 different kinds of lichen, and they're in different hues and shades of colors. With your shamanistic tribal background, the light green yellowish lichen that Scarlet found is definitely a component that a lot of shamans and apothecarians use for healing. There's red, black, and yellow lichen that's very toxic and poisonous. There's also a blue and a dark green lichen, which have healing effects as well, but a little bit different. The dark green and blue lichen, they are curative, not healing. So the dark blue lichen cures diseases, and the dark green lichen cures blindness.
Blindness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and gather up a little bit of each
Okay.
and store it away in a pouch.
I
So
have to
that
say, that name is making me edgy. Are we going to turn into wolves?
the blue was, you said, a curative, like
Yeah, like cures.
like a
Yeah,
poison or
curative, like
something?
cures disease.
like cure disease.
Yeah, and then the dark green cures blindness, and the light green is like a healing component that you can add to apothecary and kind of like alchemy ingredients. So give me a survival check as you begin to gather as much as you can. And because you are familiar with it, you can have advantage on it.
Okay. You said survival.
You're
Yes,
choking on there, buddy.
probably popcorn.
Yeah, that was ugly. 13.
13. Roll a d8, please.
1.
You can manage to collect a pound
Okay.
of it,
Okay. Pound
of each kind.
Okay.
However, because you're preoccupied with doing that, I need you to give me perception with disadvantage.
Okay.
Yay, I watch, guys. I watch.
You said perception.
Correct. Disadvantage.
Eight.
Give me a Constitution save, please.
11.
11. Okay. Your watch ends. No signs of anything. You collect what you gather and you head on back and you kind of wake up Bella.
Okay. Tell her about. I show her the stuff I found.
Okay.
And explain to her what I know about it.
What's your passive perception, Bella?
Never
My-
touch shit.
Especially if you've already got it like
Right.
sprouting out.
He is now glowing.
Passive is- Oh my god.
He now looks like
I
a
know.
lizard
What's,
person.
what's your passive? Just your static number, or
It's like I think it's like a 10 plus your wisdom modifier.
That's
So
escape.
What's your wisdom modifier?
my wisdom modifier is +5.
Okay,
So your
15.
passive is 15. Don't really notice anything out of the ordinary. You just see
Ignoring this one, it's all this one.
you just kind of watch as Morrow kind of sets down and sets the lichen he collected off to the side and kind of doesn't, lock the ladle or anything, but kind of like lies down alongside where Scarlet is and quickly falls asleep and leaves you on watch. Once again, you're 10 feet up, looking down into the main riverbed that goes right and left. He brings you up to date on what he gathered and noticed about the lichen and stuff like that.
and what Scarlet, that she saw the goblin,
Little
collecting
goblin
stuff.
harvester out there collecting something under the
Definitely
rocks.
aware that there might be some things down there other than just the. Yeah. Okay.
What do you want to do during your watch? Was that Sebastian?
Yes.
Did he just Zerbert you?
No.
Oh, what was
I
it?
think he sneezed.
Oh, that would have been cute if he gave you a fart noise. So what are you doing with your watch? You're on final watch.
Everybody else seems to be going to go check down there, but I'm going to take it more cautiously because if there was a goblin, usually I feel like there's more than one. Because
If you see one cockroach, there's 20 you don't see.
Goblins aren't cockroaches.
I didn't say that. I was
mean.
talking about cockroaches. What were
Yeah,
you
they're
talking
maggots.
Don't you squint at me. I know what you were saying.
about? I don't know what you're talking about. I was talking about cockroaches. You were talking about goblins. Totally different subjects.
Goblinism. It's rampant.
I eat everything equally. Thank you.
That's true.
out of some curiosity, I do want to see if there's like different color because you said green, light green.
So far, there's been 6 noticeable colors. There's red, black, and yellow. And then there's light green, dark blue. Now, the dark green, dark blue, and light green appear to be more healing properties, while the darker, kind of more sludgy looking lichen appears to be toxic.
So I definitely want to use the more bluers.
And you give me a survival check as you begin to kind of look around.
Like,
Yeah.
use a stick. Kind of.
Which hand do you use with the stick?
Yes.
You sure you want to do that?
uh,
Are you sure that's the hand you want to use?
so dirty
My
20.
hand you fight
Dirty
with it.
20?
Dirty
Did you
20.
check for traps?
Well, you don't find any more distinct
How
kind
spider
of
bite?
colorations. You do notice something kind of moving and wiggling near stone, and you kind of go over to it and you quickly lift the stone to look underneath it.
Blood leech. No.
No, it's like as you lift the stone, you see this very thin kind of worm creature. It's not a leech. It's kind of bulbous and around. It's maybe about 3 inches long, 4 inches long. And it's got this strange kind of mandible flare, like almost like, you know, how like an alien
Take off my bag.
from like Predator, you know, it flares out when it opens. You get the feeling this maybe was what the goblin was hunting.
Oh, I'm totally sticking it in the bag. I'm gonna take out my bag, just like, whoa.
Give me sleight of hand as you try to catch it.
It's gonna be
And
like,
here it goes.
It's all down here
What
on
is
the
it?
last
Fuck
one.
around and find out.
That's D&D in a
As
nutshell.
it
dude.
attaches to your brainstem and controls you.
17 plus 3, another dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You snatch the bag around it, and the moment that the bag gets around it, you feel it curl up like a pill bug in the bag, and it puts a kind of like an armadillo type shell around its body,
Go into the bag, you
and
go.
it's just kind of quietly sitting in the bag as you kind of tighten
Oh,
it
do
off.
you have new spider friends?
My spiders.
Eventually, you start hearing crunching noises. I wasn't gonna do it. Give me perception with disadvantage, since you are preoccupied with
The slug thing.
Scavenging
fucking
around.
spiders. Wait, the null head's in there too.
I don't think we went over like watches like what you're supposed to do on a watch?
Yeah, free will's
How
a
many
real
times?
bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, so 18 plus 4?
22?
For 2, yes.
That was with disadvantage.
No, wait, do I have
What are you
disadvantage?
doing?
Oh,
Because you're
okay, so that was
preoccupied
a
with
different-
scavenging around.
So
I
it
heard
was,
tea kettle.
it was,
Careful with your hands over
I
there.
don't remember now. I just thought of her
Is that Mom?
screaming child.
Theater.
Here we go. 13 plus 4, so 17.
17, still pretty good. Your watch pretty much goes by uneventful. Nothing happens. No return of the goblin. Every now and then, creatures come and go. You know, the sound of like large millipedes kind of disappearing up into the
Does one
rocks
have a
and-
bugbear leg by chance? No.
you see this heavily stoned millipede come by. It just looks at you, turns like into mood ring colors. Hey, brah, what's going on? And it just keeps going into the dark. As you come back to the camp, everyone is kind of like slowly begin to rise. So everybody can go ahead and click off a long rest, except for Morrow. All of you wake up to a 7-foot long, 3-foot around larval covering in the middle of camp. Exactly where you remember Morrow was sleeping. It's currently kind of undulating and kind of like shifting. You can see like membrane tissue inside of it. You can see spider webs of veins on the outside of the mucus skin. And every now and then, like the back end of it lets off like a secretion and like a spit of gas kind of comes out the back end of the maggot form. And you're kind of all standing there. So all of you click off a long rest, but you're all standing in the makeshift camp looking down at where Morrow used to be.
I have a science question for you.
Okay.
When a orc becomes a caterpillar cocoon, what kind of butterfly does it become?
I think it's more like it becomes a pterodactyl.
Okay.
A thing of real
It
beauty.
should be like, he becomes a beautiful butterfly with little itty bitty wings.
My God, if you have little wings after this, it'll be
This is a beautiful butterfly.
And he's flying around going, you don't look like a little answer here.
What's the Pokemon butterfly?
Butterfree?
Butterfree.
or beautifly, or there's the dust speck.
Jerry's like, I knew it. He's gonna be. You guys just made
as
the
long
big
as
bad.
I have the Tyrannosaurus Rex arms.
You look like little ants from him. What are you doing? Don't climb over that.
Yeah, he's gonna be holding his little axes.
As he climbs over it.
Give him back here.
Well, you make it look like your nipples have hands.
Nipple hands. Attack.
So you guys are awake.
Bite your legs
It's
off.
morning of day 2 of your arrival in the Morrow. You're currently in the underground riverbed, heading in the direction of Rexingtrum. And while all of you feel sort of recovered, you can take 1 point of exhaustion away from the long rest.
Okay.
Anyone who only had a point, it's reduced. But currently, there's this very large larval stage mass where Morrow was sleeping. And you can see like his axe is lying next to him. You see that he's on the bedroll, but the bedroll's like covered in like mucus and sticky goo, and you can see where it's like.
Oh my God, I feel like, can I try to eat Greater Restoration? I'm scared now.
It's like, I don't want to try to
You have
cut
to.
him out.
Apparently I have greater.
I was just
He
as
will
a
be
cleric,
missed.
she can switch
We
out
need to
her
get going.
spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just cut it open. See
He
what
will be
comes out.
missed. Let's get going.
No!
Oh.
Throw a dagger at you.
Greater restoration.
Greater Restoration.
Wait
Okay.
a minute.
Yeah.
Wait.
Well, you can't add
Why don't we
something
just
you don't
cut it
have,
open?
can you?
No,
As
I
a cleric, they can switch out their spells, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I see like does it
So I
look
can't-
like it's wrapped
Yeah.
around him?
I didn't know
He's
you had
inside of
greater
it.
Restoration as a spell.
Give
Yeah.
me investigation
Okay.
or
It's a- it's a-
medicine,
I
your
have a little
choice.
test, so.
And you can have advantage because because Jade is helping you.
Before we could switch out her spells.
Okay, yeah. So I'll do my medicine check.
Yeah,
Did you open
I
up another
understand
nerd?
that meditating to get a different
Okay,
set of
Jesus.
check
spells.
Let's see, a 3 or a 6. So
It's either a
an
3 or a
8.
6.
So an 8 or
An 8?
or 5. Yeah.
Looking at it, I will give you this much. Because of the thinness of the membrane, there's 2 forms inside of it.
That's not good.
I say we cut it open before we start casting spells.
There's 2 forms inside. Does one
There's
look
2
like,
silhouettes.
Does one look like Morrow?
Hard to tell with
there's
all the
Morrow
gelatinous.
and baby Morrow in there.
It's hard to tell with all the gelatinous material.
Hey,
You
I
just
got my own mini me. I
see
mean, she's
the
got a pet. I want a mini me.
you just see the silhouette of 2 tall forms inside of the larval form.
You have an evil twin now. You are the evil twin. No, I'm just
Shall we cut it open?
Might as well.
Well, you have
Who's
the
cutting?
daggers you like to throw.
I'll cut.
Use it.
He's my friend.
Give me sleight of hand as you do it.
Oh no, his face. Oh wait,
Uh,
be much. It'll be an improvement. A new scar.
Uh-oh.
11.
11. As you try to draw the blade around the thin membrane, the membrane immediately reacts to you, and there's like a spray of like this caustic acid away from the membrane that comes towards you. Gives you like 7 points of acid damage, and your dagger doesn't seem to be able to penetrate the membrane without it kind of constantly reacting to your touch.
Hey you. Ow! What are you doing? Hey, no, wait, no, hey. Soft touches. There you go.
Don't give me that sidelong look.
No,
So-
no, he's gonna.
Out of curiosity.
It's how the end of the world started, was a statement like that. Just out of curiosity. When a meteorite the size of Texas hits the planet, everything's going to be fine, right?
I'm gonna test message. And try and contact Morrow. Hey Morrow, are you in there?
You hear 2 yeses.
Do they both sound like Morrow?
Yes.
Ooh, I think Okay.
So, okay, I have that thing where I eat stuff.
You can't eat the evil Morrow.
I
Okay.
use
I'm
my-
just saying, if I were to grow my vines
the
over
true-
it
the
and it were to
true,
eat that excess
Test is
flesh,
to figure out which tomorrow is tomorrow.
Right. Okay.
would
Are
that
you
be a
okay in
thing?
there?
You can hear her.
Okay. So
I can use my telepathy too to talk
what's
to him.
that? So she's saying that she's asking if I'm in there.
Yeah.
And
And
I
you said
say,
yes.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna say, are you okay?
so can I see anything when I
I
open
mean,
my eyes and
it's
look
like
around?
you open your eyes and you look around. There is a form lying alongside you.
Uh-huh.
It's all this weird fatty tissue all around you, and like just kind of weird undulating kind of masses, almost like tumor-like masses.
Uh-huh.
You start, but like right at your neck, you could feel like an umbilical cord running from your neck over into the other mass lying alongside you. And you kind of like, you could shift your eyes just enough to look over. There's this kind of tall form, but they're covered in mucus mass, so you can't really see what they are. But you could see that the cord attached to your neck is like feeding it. You could see like your blood passing through the umbilical cord into this other mass, this biomass lying alongside you.
All right.
For my
Can I
curiosity,
move it all while I'm in here, or am I kind of restrained?
You're currently incapacitated. Can't seem to move. You're
More like I drugged, like I.
it's a
can't,
mix of feeling
paralyzed or-
drugged and unable to kind of like push through the mass.
All right, I'm gonna everybody get back.
Does he still have the foot on his shoulder?
I'm gonna fire an eldritch blast at it.
No.
Okay, roll for an attack.
Yeah.
Ma.
Such cute baby noises. Dang it.
All of his baby noises are cute. Well,
yeah.
almost all of them.
Dirty
Right.
20.
Dirty 20. You kind of you push everybody back and you stand and you kind of you blast into the membrane. Go ahead and roll for damage.
14 points of damage.
take 14 points of damage, and you feel this hot, searing pain run all the way through you, through the umbilical connection, and the biomass alongside you kind of like thrashes about with the pain. Through your telepathy, you feel his pain kind of echo outside when you realize he's
about that.
taking the damage as well as the membrane covering is. But the membrane covering is showing some damage. Like you could see where the membrane's slightly torn open.
Can I communicate to him that I saw kind of the umbilical coming out of my neck feeding the other thing?
Okay.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, you gotta.
I don't know if I can respond back to him.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, I'm sorry. I get 3 beans at that level. So I need
2 more attacks.
beans.
Yeah.
All right.
That's another dirty 20, and that is 18.
Okay.
Okay.
Damage twice over.
My armor class is 19, but I'm figuring I'm restrained, so I'm not,
Right.
It's
13 points of damage and 10 points of damage.
Well, at this point, it's more about the larval covering than anything else.
So I'm taking 23 more.
Yeah, take 23 more points of damage. At this point, after your third blast, the membrane rips open. It just kind of shreds open. You watch as this very long, large biomass kind of rolls away. You're finally not restrained, but you can still feel the cord, and you guys can all see this like umbilical cord attached to Morrow's neck, but you no longer see his tail, and you no longer see the foot.
I knew it.
I
knew it.
Oh, shoot.
Grab it and like kind of pinch it off, like just to squeeze it so that nothing's flowing out anymore.
You give me a strength check on
Like
that
you
one.
would with an umbilical cord, so the mother
Try
doesn't bleed out.
Ivory's fine. Still got the 4
strength-
legs on her back.
Strength check's just
Where'd
my
this thing come
strength
from?
modifier.
Hmm?
The strength check's just my modifier.
Correct.
Well, where'd the cocoon
23.
thing come
23.
from?
You, as you pinch to cut off the circulation to it, and you start to stagger onto your knees and feet, you then feel a huge tug. Like you feel it separate from your neck. You watch as it recoils into the biomass, and then you watch as the biomass splits open, and you barely even catch a glimpse of it. You guys watch as something that kind of looks like Morrow, like jettisons out of the biomass, disappears over the edge and down into the larger riverbed.
Willa's gonna yell out to it, "Morrow, where are you going?"
And all you hear is nails and bare feet on rock as it goes further, and you're kind of all looking, and it's gone. No sign of it.
Sorry.
You had to get me out.
You had a Cronenberg baby.
But, you know,
But I don't have a tail or a
Knowledge
foot
is
anymore. Huh?
Nope. You just have open sores, and you see like you have weeping wounds on your body from whatever it was doing. Take an additional 48 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, 48. Now I'm hurting, guys. You kind of hear me like let out kind of a groan of pain, like
Yeah, and you watch as Morrow sits down on a rock. The opening where the umbilical cord was attached is kind of like weeping with pus and yellow goo coming out of it.
And I'm gonna apply the healing lichen.
Okay, so if you spend an hour doing that, you'll get.
I was gonna say,
Resto.
yeah, I was just gonna. I'm gonna use greater
Okay.
restoration.
So greater restoration will cure him of the disease that was producing the mass.
Yeah.
Get 12 hit points back from the lichen being applied to your wounds.
okay.
You could also, during this hour, take a short rest if you want to apply.
I
a
was
short
actually
rest.
thinking it's like I was gonna be like unhelpfully handing him.
Probably a good
Probably
thing.
good.
Get back on my feet, just to kind of
I can
not be.
make 10 of those. But everybody gets a good berry, so you're not starving to death.
We all ate good
I
day.
have no idea what the benefits of a short rest are.
You can roll your hit dice.
What level are you now?
Health
10?
points.
Yeah.
5.
So at level 10, I think it's half your level, right?
Like 5 hit dice. You can
So
roll.
you get, and you're a D10 or a D12. You're
I think
bard.
it's a D12.
Yeah. So you can roll up to 5 D12 per short
No,
rest.
it's a total of 10.
The total 10. You
Oh,
get
yeah, it's
roll
one
a
per
10.
level.
1 per level.
So you can roll up to 10 if
Oh,
you
thank
want to
you,
roll
buddy.
that many. So you can each
Thank you so
slot
much.
is 1d12.
Okay.
So you can decide how many you want to roll, and then you cross them off, and then you get those back after
Plus
a
your
long rest,
constitution.
plus your con modifier.
So I count how many I use, and that affects something, or
Plus con for
It's
each
like
one.
it's like a healing. Imagine it like a healing potion. You're gonna
Okay.
roll that, and whatever you
Well,
roll,
you're
you
gonna roll
get
10.
back and hit
okay,
points.
that's 15, 18 for 3.
Don't forget to add
And
your
I-
con for each dice.
I'll add my con for each die.
Correct.
When you
Okay,
turn
that's
plus your
another
con.
15.
1d.
So that's
12.
33. I'll do 3 more just to see what I end up at.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's better. That's 13, 23, 23, and 15.
You get them back on a
Yes.
long rest, but you get like half as much or something. I never actually
You
been.
get half your level. You get half your. So if you use 5, if you use more than half that are available to you, you only get half back during a long
Oh,
rest.
okay. So I should only use 5 then.
It's up to
I
you.
mean, you can. You
Well,
might take it
no,
as a
I
plus,
didn't
right?
understand.
So after a long rest, you would get up to 5 back, which means you may still have 1 or 2. Anything above 5 are still marked as used.
Okay.
So you get half of your level back each time you take a long rest.
Okay.
Usually, it doesn't come into play because it's not enough. You don't use
All right.
them as
I'll
much.
just go
I-
with what
I
I
In
don't-
my worlds, they get used a lot.
Yeah, I
Because
haven't
it's,
used them a lot.
Huh?
While we're short resting, I want to look at that Magic Mansion book again.
It's
You
56,
kind of need more time than an
56,
hour as a way to
Okay. Never mind.
kind of like study it. So it would take more time.
71. All right. So I use 6. So that's which is a little more than half. So
Okay. So you guys gather up your gear, break camp, and decide to keep going deeper in the
Where
Direction.
the Merle was going.
So for this day's travel, what skill do you guys want to use to help the team keep going,
to help what keep going.
to keep moving forward for this day's travel? Currently, the environment is a mix of water, rock, interior cavern, semi-dried out riverbed, lichen, mossy structures, small insects, kind of creatures moving in about.
Does it have to be a skill, or can it be?
It could be anything you want.
Okay.
Anything you guys want to do to help the party make it through this day's travel.
I would like.
Oh, each person could use a different one.
Yep.
Mhm.
I'd like to use mold earth to smooth the path in front of us
Okay.
to lessen the difficult terrain. For
Okay. You're using mold earth. Because she's using mold earth, anybody using a dex-based skill will have advantage.
I think I can use my the dancing lights to give us a little bit more.
My exhaustion is gone, right? It didn't go away with
Your
the long
1
rest.
point of exhaustion should go away, yes.
It didn't
You
go
have to
away.
click off, because when you push long rest, you have to click off the take the exhaustion off as well.
Oh, right. Okay.
I want to use sleight of hand. I want to use sleight of hand to help remove any obstacles, other than the ground, obstacles out of our path.
So you're using sleight of hand for that?
Yeah.
That's dex-based, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me that with advantage.
18 and 8 is 23.
Okay. Anybody else?
If I could talk to spiders, I
Um,
want to see if I can talk to little slug thing in my bag.
I'll-
Maybe
I'll
it might
use-
know some.
Okay.
I'll use acrobatics to try and look for the surest footing for everybody.
Give me an acrobatics check with advantage.
Okay.
22.
22. Okay. Give me speak with animals there, Bella. You're casting a spell, correct?
Yes.
On that one?
Animal. So I have advantage on animal handling. Yay.
Okay.
That's why the whole thing.
So mold earth, trying to find the best path. Sleight of hand to kind of help you find the best path, which lowered that DC.
24.
You're speaking with speak with animals, trying to communicate with the creature. Scarlett, what are you doing to help the group
I'm
out?
actually going to use instead. I'm going to use The burning.
I could cast fireball.
Wait. Okay.
No, I
There was
don't-
I'm gonna set the cave on fire.
Actually, in a way, I'm gonna use burning hands
Okay.
because that actually.
So you were partially
created
right.
a 15-foot cone of light fire,
Okay.
Don't touch
How
anyone
long?
or high five.
and it has a dex modifier of 15.
It's a cantrip, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So that gives you a combination of like lighting the area up and kind of like keeping creatures away and at bay as well. And every now and then you see like animated and kind of like sentient plants, like plants that are alive, like a Venus flytrap like creature. And you quickly kind of like singe it to keep it from interacting with anybody. Jerry, what are you doing to?
I'm gonna cast Summon Lesser Demon to chase us through the, so that we get that
Keep us
faster.
moving.
To keep us moving.
I cast Motivated Demon.
Yeah, and he's got like a headband on and like like a fuzzy headband and like really short shorts.
Does he have a fro?
and yeah, curly hair.
Run, motherfuckers! Run!
His name was Richard.
Let's get that cardio going. Yeah, and he's got.
You
he's got
summon a
fro.
Richard Simmons.
Yeah.
Demon?
Yeah.
Oh my
No.
God! Somebody please draw that.
No, I'm
Someone please draw
I
that.
won't do that because it'll kill us.
That would be brilliant.
I don't want to do that because that'll kill us.
Come on, you can do it. One more step. One
I'm
more
going
step. Come on, everybody.
Get it, girls. Get it, girls.
Go,
Get
go,
it,
go.
get it.
Don't get these after you. I'm gonna use my lucky feet.
Okay.
So if anything bad happens, I want to use my luck point to make sure it doesn't happen.
Okay.
It's like something untoward that we need a luck point for.
Okay. So Willis starts off everything by molding the earth and clearing a pathway. You're guiding her through this process. You point out and move objects out of the way, keeping that path safe. Whenever someone gets close to either something that looks nefarious, you kind of point it out. And that's when, Scarlet comes over and kind of fries it with her cantrip ability. So while you guys are kind of like meandering and making your way through this darkened tunnel and cavern, going further and further into the Morrow Valley underground out of the vapor, you can hear somebody talking. And every now and then you look up to see Bella like talking to something in a bag.
It's 29. I thought it was 24. I was wrong.
Yeah.
We were doing, yeah.
So
She forgot about her proficiency.
as
bonuses.
as you look into the bag, the creature unfurls. And as it does, it's weird, kind of like oscillating tentacle mouth, kind of like gargles a voice more than anything else.
What do you want? I mean, you really shouldn't keep me in this bag. It'd be better if you let me go.
No, I think you're good in the bag. You tried to eat my face.
Well, you hear it burp and like a arachnid leg falls out of its mouth.
You dick.
I don't know what those were, but they were very tasty. Thank you.
Mom.
Those spiders were so
Is that what I use my luck point for? All the spiders are dead.
I mean, they were in the bag and now they're in this creature's belly.
They're laying eggs inside the creature's stomach.
You know what?
No.
You're my new mom now.
That's like caviar. That's like spider caviar. Mm,
You're my new mom now.
cracker.
What do you want?
I'm gonna keep you now. So
Oh, that's. So you're gonna keep me because I eat your spiders.
yes.
Replacement.
Fascinating. Okay. Can't wait to see what else you put in here. It's gonna be lots of fun.
Will you be a good boy if I put more stuff in
I
there?
telekinesis. I'm gonna telekinesis into the bag and be like, "What are you and what are you doing in the bag?"
Okay. Hold on. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
So as you notice her talking into the bag, you try to telekinetically attach to it so you can speak to it.
Right.
It failed its intelligence save. So as you're looking in the bag, all of you hear a popping noise. This like wet, and you look to see Bella's face just covered in purple, red, and green goo, and she like looks up and she's
You know what?
pulling.
You know what?
It's like the
Greater
classic,
restoration. Greater restoration.
No, it's the
Doesn't work that way.
Wile E. Coyote response. From,
Yeah,
the
yeah, like
Road
Yeah,
Runner.
no.
Because mine was so simple, your psychic connection, it just ruptured the creature's body. Its little tiny body just blew upward, and you just see Bella just like pulling guts out of her eyes and bits of like armadillo scale out of their hair. And just,
There's no look, just pure sadness where I'm all like, well, there goes another pet.
What happened? What is that?
It's all right. It probably killed a lot of plants.
I want to know. Do I feel?
Yeah. You don't know.
I mean, it just blew up in the bag. Wasn't enough to cause you damage. Just
Doesn't telekinesis just move things?
Maybe it didn't like
no,
being
to use
there.
telepathy.
Telepathy.
Oh.
But it had a very simple intelligence because the way the creature's made, any psychic attempt to communicate with it or to use psychic on it, it's vulnerable to psychic. So it has to make an intelligence save of 14 or higher for telepathy and telekinesis and psychic effects, or else it ruptures.
What did it roll?
I rolled a 5.
Dumb little shit.
And it's got a +0 for intelligence saves because it's not very
You can
intelligent.
find another one.
I'm gonna at least put on whatever bits left and put it back in the bag. Like, great, spiders and my slug.
No.
Well, I guess there's chewed up spider all over it too, right?
Mold earth. Probably not gonna
All
see
the
anything
empty
in the river.
butt bags.
Jerry just kind of walks by you, picks some flesh off your shoulder. It'll be okay. Don't worry. They're there. They're there. So day 2, because of everybody's skill checks, you travel for a good 9 hours. It's constant, just this constant, unending cavern and darkness. Critters kind of skidding away as you guys get too close to them. So once again, you find another riverbed that feeds into this one. Settling in for the end of day 2's travels. Who's setting the watch this time? Is there anything you guys want to work on before taking your long rest? So you want to continue reading your book?
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Because I'm half fighter, half druid, I don't have access to spells that I would normally have at a level 10 druid, obviously. But as a natural creature, I'm wondering if I could still attune to some of them and get them as like a once a day thing.
I mean, you can learn spells.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's like,
You can learn them, but it takes effort and time. But yeah, it's possible.
okay, then I want to work on getting Wrath of Nature.
Do you have it written down as a spell?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, because I'm a druid character, most of their things are a natural thing. Is it something that I can kind of meditate on and figure out?
You can commune with nature and try to learn it that way.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay. So it's just going to be a thing that I kind of meditate on until I figure it out.
Okay, fair enough. Are you going to start that with this rest?
Oh, it's just something that's in my mind.
Okay.
It's probably a really bad place to start. doing
Yeah, like
that.
you're already picking up on the fact that there's nothing natural about this environment that you're in.
Oh.
Yeah.
That,
Putting your water out.
you know, seeing the way creatures are altered, seeing the way the environment is being altered by whatever that miasma is up above ground, you get the feeling that this whole place is going through a constant shift, a constant kind of alteration out of its normal natural environment, which you tend to be better in traditional natural environments. So right now you don't feel like you're in one of those.
Okay, I'll keep that in the back of my mind.
Okay. Which just means you can still commune. It just may expose you to dangers
Right.
because it's not the natural environment that you're used to.
Would you say that we're in a rock cavern right now?
So imagine you've gone down 60 feet through the Hell's Mouth entry point. And you're basically in a 30-foot wide, 20-foot tall, kind of dried out underground riverbed that has stagnant pools of water in it. So there's some vegetation that's growing under here, but it's all like cavern vegetation. The water's mostly stagnant and brackish. And it's filled with a lot of kind of like cavern creatures and insects and stuff like that. And your guys' movement's a bit echoey when you kind of traverse through it. But it's just this constant meandering, dried up underground riverbed that you're currently following.
Then can I like put a thin mold earth rock thing where we're camping to where we're just kind of blending into the surroundings?
You could if you want to, yeah.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
That'll give you some advantages on your DC checks for when you go on watch.
I'll take first watch again.
So Scarlett's on first watch. Who's got second?
I'm gonna actually.
You're going to take a watch with Scarlett, okay?
I'm gonna practice my longsword.
Okay. You're reading up on the Magic Mansion. Anybody else want to do anything before your long rest?
To get it.
Bella's
Yes,
contemplating whether or not to go look for a new pet. Look at that face. Just reads like a thesaurus. She gets to keep Ivory, but my
You'll have
pets
to
keep
find another
Di.
spider. I'm sure there'll be some creepy shit you can find way better than that thing.
Oh God, I hope he throws something that I get to keep as a pet that you just absolutely fucking hate.
Like a
Well, now that I know I
spider
can blow them up,
Absolutely.
I'll just have to use a mind spike next time. Now that I know I can telekinetically blow up things.
So this will be a good spot to stop because you guys made it to the Hell's Mouth. It's a milestone. So we are now level 11.
Should I?
And you're currently
multitask?
settling into the end of day 2 for your long rest. Got Scarlet and Callista, or Scarlet and Jade on first watch. Who's on second watch?
Who's on first?
Well, I was gonna hope I could take the first watch so I could do that mold earth thing, but
Do it during second watch too.
okay, I just figured it'd be easier for us on
Oh,
the.
no, that's way too.
Who's taking final watch?
Rest up a little bit first.
Well, I'll take the final one.
So Maro's taking final watch.
What would I get?
All right.
I'm more my poor slug.
So are you a level 11 ranger now? Or are you multi-classing still? The hell's with the tea kettle? Hey, monstrosity. Hi. Level 11 cleric.
I don't know what it is anymore. All my stuff keeps getting deleted.
I don't know if I want Magic Mansion and stuff. I don't know how to add that in to a ranger's spell stuff.
Who's that?
Or writing it down.
I'm the dungeon master. All of you make con saves at disadvantage. DC 32. You stink.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, D8.
That's just
All right, everyone. Thank you for coming out. We will be back here next Monday. Everybody go next Monday? Yeah?
Of course.
We'll be back here next Monday to journey the rest of the way to Rexingtrum and see what kind of diabolicalness they can get into there. So everyone, please be safe, be kind, and don't forget, play a game. Good night, everybody.
So if I go level 6 fighter, I get an ability score improvement. If I go level 6,